Memorial has had similar seasons the past 2 years. Last year they were beaten during the regular season by Milwaukee Thomas More, but came back to beat Moore in the playoffs and then knocked off CWCC champ Lacrosse Aquinas in the championship game to win the title in lacrosse. This year, they lost 2 games during the regular season, one to Thomas More, the other to Marquette High School, but they came back last week and beat Thomas More 7-0. And again, they take on the CWCC champs on the CWCC champs home field this year. Well, hopefully that's where the similarity will end, as here is Waukesha Memorial's head coach, Bill Young.
Coach, you come into the Columbus game with a record of 8 wins and 2 losses. Are you pleased overall with the season coming off a state championship of a year ago?
Yeah, we're happy that we had an opportunity to defend our state championship. We lost quite a few starters from last year's team, but we had a good nucleus of juniors that we've gathered our forces around this year, and they've done an outstanding job for us. This season, we had our ups and downs. We played well off and on, but in some of the big games in the early part of the year, we were kind of inconsistent, and as a result of that inconsistency, we lost two ball games out of our first 6 games. And after the Marquette game, where our specialty teams really kind of broke down in that game, we just sat down with our team and we told them that it was going to take a super effort just to make the playoffs. And our kids responded very well, and it was highlighted by our victory over Thomas More last week that enabled us to get in a state championship.
Let's talk a little bit about that game with Moore. They beat you earlier in the year, and you turned the tables on them. What was the difference between the 2 games?
Well, I think the big difference is that our execution was much better. We tackled much better than we did in the first game, and we executed our blocking. That was the big key. We blocked much better. We control the line of scrimmage in the second game against Thomas More.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about your personnel. You mentioned that you lost a lot of people from last year's team, but who are some of the key kids that have carried you this far, Coach?
Well, probably our main man would be Mike Reutemann. He's our big fullback. He's 6 feet, 212 pounds. He's rushed for over 1,100 yards this year already. Mike goes both ways for us. He's a 3-year starter. He was the MVP in last year's state championship game, and Mike just does a tremendous job both on and off the field for us. You know, he does leadership through example. Brian Ackred is our halfback. He weighs 175 pounds. Senior, we moved him from tight end to halfback later in the year, and he's given us a real plus in the backfield. He takes a lot of heat off of Mike. Our quarterback, Joe Hulk, is exceptionally quick. He's a threat on every play, either to if we run option or if we go back to a drop back pass series or whatever, and if Joe sees an opening, he'll take it, and he's got the ability to crack a long one at any time. Defensively, we're led by Mark Sichterman. He's 6'3" and 217, a senior defensive end, and he also plays offensive tackle for us. And Steve Stigler, he's 6'3" and 245. These people in our entire secondary has just done an outstanding job. They've only given up 3 passes, but we know that we'll be tested this week with that Morgan, their quarterback, and that Kelly Kennedy, that receiver. And we've seen him in a game last week against Ryan Colley, and he's just an outstanding receiver.
Well, you mentioned you had a chance to scout Columbus in the Ron Colley game, and you liked their passing attack, but what were some of the other things that you learned about Columbus last week?
Well, I've got an awful lot of respect for that ball club. Anytime you can go undefeated through a year, that speaks very highly of you, and we know how competitive the conference is up there. And Coach Kroll has got a reputation around the state as one of the finest coaches in the state. He's a tremendous man. He's just got an outstanding program up there. We feel that their quarterback, the Morgan, he's an outstanding passer. That John Radlinger and Wagner, the halfback, are both slashing type of runners. They give you that second and third effort, and we're going to have our hands full. There's no doubt about it.
You've got to come up here to play the game, Coach. How do you feel about that?
Well, we would like to see it at a neutral site, but that's irregardless. The decision's been made. But the nice thing about it, the 22 kids that are going to be playing football for us, 20 of those kids were on the team last year. I mean, offense and defense, and they went through it. They went through the ride up to lacrosse last year. They played at the opposing team's home field. They've gone through that. They've been through that situation, and we're just looking forward to coming up there and playing a super. We know we're going against a great football team, but we've got to be very confident in what we're going to be doing, and irregardless, we're going to go up there and we've got to win that football game.
That's Bill Young, the coach of Waukesha Memorial, the defending state champs. Columbus coach Walt Kroll says they are a classy outfit. And we had a chance to talk to Mr. Kroll earlier this week.
Well, Joe, we're certainly approaching it in a very serious manner, of course. We're playing for a state championship, and we're playing on our home grounds, and we're playing against the defending champions of WISAA, and it's a real serious matter for all of ourselves, and we intend to be at our best Saturday night.
Is there a possibility of being too high for the game?
I don't think so, Joe. All season long, this has been a real stable group of young men to work with, and they've taken everything pretty much in stride, the big games and the lesser games, and really, if we continue on at that particular keel, I think we'll be in good shape.
Let's think back to last week, a nail biter right down to the end against Ron Colley. What did that mean to the team in the way of confidence, pulling one out of the fire, as it were?
Well, Joel, that was, I guess that was the third time during the course of the season when we trailed Edgewood, if you recall, 14-0, and also trailed Assumption 14-0 in the early moments of the game, and were able to come back. And I think probably deep down underneath, our players knew that somehow, some way in the fourth quarter, we were going to be able to sustain a couple drives there when we got the wind and get the points needed for a victory. And certainly was a real indication, I think, the contest of just what it is like to be in the WISAA playoffs. Ron Colley had a real fine team, and they wanted to win real badly and played a heck of a game, I felt.
Okay, let's talk about Waukesha Memorial. You've had a chance to scout them, of course. What does the scouting report tell you about their offense? What kind of things do they run?
Well, Joel, what we gather, they've got a real varied offense, and I think it's keyed or built basically around their quarterback, who is about 5'8", 165 pounds, and very quick, and big fullback who also plays linebacker for them, a big 210-pound fullback, and he does the brunt of their ball carrying. These are the key men in their offensive attack, and they use a variety of offensive styles, I guess you'd call it, and have been very successful during the course of the past two seasons with this system.
And what about their defense? What will they show you there?
Well, their defense, I think, is probably a typical Metro Conference defense in that they play very aggressively on defense up in front, and basically they play a straight 5-2 alignment and do very little stunting and just rely on a good execution to do the job for themselves.
And how do the teams match up size-wise?
Well, I think, Joe, the size matchups are pretty much even. They have one player in the line that is 225, 35 pounds, and which is bigger than any of our linemen, of course. But other than that, like ourselves, their linemen forward wall is built around 175, 85, 95 pounders.
Has there been a special feeling in school this week with all the kids, the entire student body, as we prepare for this one?
Well, I think there has, Joel. There's been an awful crunch for tickets, of course. We still have a few tickets left, incidentally, and everyone at school, I know, is going to be in attendance at the game, and probably their parents and friends and what have you. So, yes, I would say definitely there has been a real feeling of excitement and pride in our school and team this particular week.
There you have the coaches, Bill Young from Waukesha Memorial, Walt Kroll from Marshfield Columbus. We'll be back after this from the Central Wisconsin Coin Company.
Everybody has some old coins lying around the house. Maybe they're worth more than you think. Bring them down to Central Wisconsin Coin Company Incorporated, downtown Marshfield. They buy and sell gold and silver and other collectible coins. And they have the largest selection in Central Wisconsin. Looking for a gift? Proof and mint sets make excellent and valued gifts that are sure to be appreciated. Or give them in addition to their stamp collection. Central Wisconsin Coin Company carries mint and used United States stamps. And they also have stamp supplies. Your child is sure to be pleased with a start on a stamp collection because it's something he or she can enjoy for years to come. Whether you're looking to buy or sell coins for yourself or looking for a quality gift, make a trip to Central Wisconsin Coin Company Incorporated. They're always buying and selling gold and silver and other collectible coins, always at current market value. Located at 225 South Central Avenue, Marshfield.
There's not a whole lot more you can say about it. We just have to let them tee it up and watch it happen. Columbus and Waukesha Memorial, the WISAA State Championship game is next on WDLB. Our pregame show tonight has been sponsored.
Good evening from Beal Stadium in Marshfield. Joe Orella with Mickey Horvat, Del Connaughty, and Jack Hackman all set to bring you this championship game between the Crusaders from Waukesha Memorial High School and the Marshfield Columbus Dons. We're about 4 minutes away from kickoff time, Del, so why don't we at this point go through the starting lineups.
Okay, Joe. First of all, the starting lineup for the boys from Waukesha Memorial at quarterback, we have Joe Hulk. He's 5'8", 160-pound junior. And then one halfback is Kevin Ackert. He is 5 foot, I think that's Brian. He's 5'6", 145-pound junior. The fullback, this is the boy we have to stop. Mike Rodeman, he is a 6 foot, 210-pound senior. And then the flanker back will be Pete Miller. He is 5'8", 160-pound senior. Okay, their center, Dennis Grogan. He is 6 foot 195-pound junior. The guards will be Kevin Borges. He's 6 foot 205-pound senior. The left guard, and that was the right guard. The left guard is Jim Jandeza. He is 5 foot 9, 160 pounds. The tackles, the boy that the coach talked about in the pregame show, Mark Sickman. He is 6 foot 2, 218-pound senior. And then they get the other boy out there that's a big boy. They got a team out here. And then the ends on this team will be Pete Kesner, 6 foot 180 pounds. And the other end is John Roychek. He is 5 foot 10, 165 pounds. For the Columbus High School Dons, we have the same starting lineup we've used for a long, long time. The left end, Kevin Kennedy, 6 foot 380 senior. The left tackle is Darrell Martin, 5 foot 11, 200 pounds senior. The left guard, Kevin Merkel, 5 foot 8, 150-pound senior. The center, Greg Sebastian, 5'9", 190-pound junior. The right guard is Lyle Lang, 5'9", 220 junior. Joe Mikowski is a tackle. The right tackle, 6'2", 195-pound senior. Kelly Kennedy will be the right end, 6 foot 380-pound senior. Morgan quarterback, Bryant, 6 foot 185-pound junior. The fullback, John Radlinger, 5'9", 155-pound senior. The tailback, Robbie Wagner, 6 foot 165-pound junior. The wingback is Larry Olson. He is a 6 foot 170-pound senior. The Columbus High School Dons are going to be facing one of the biggest teams we have faced this year. We'll be kicking off to them, and our defense will be put to a test. The word is we have to stop their big fullback, and we have to stop the quarterback on his option rollouts and stuff like that. I don't know what you guys want to add to this before the game, but I know our knees are knocking. We're going to have fun. Maybe we can handle Joe a little bit better than we did last week, because we got a lot of jabs about how excited we got, but I said the day I stopped getting excited is the day I don't even care if I'm working. That's the day I stopped going to these games, and we've got over 4,000 people in here tonight. Few seats on the ends, but there are some people in the end zones, but the aisles across there, we are completely jammed, and we have a big crowd, probably be the biggest crowd ever to watch a football game here at Beal Stadium. We might, if we got time here now, run down the defense of the Columbus High School Dons, what a job they have done. Larry Olson will be starting at an end spot, the left end. Kevin Harmon, what a job he did last week down at Manitowoc. He is 5'11", 190 pounds. John Radlinger is nursing a very badly bruised arm and shoulder, and it'll be, we got two guys to worry about tonight, Radlinger and Olson, just to see how they can handle the contact. Eric Fernbrook will start in the nose guard spot in the middle guard. He's 5'10", 155-pound senior. Robbie Raderith, 6'1", 190 pounds, will be another linebacker. Pat Krause, 6'2", 200-pound junior. Last week, they moved Pat to the middle guard when the guy over Fernbrook was just too big for him to handle, so Pat came in there. Kelly Kennedy's the right end. Kevin Dick Stevens, the left cornerback. John Olson, the safety. Rick Sloan will be the right corner. So we're just about set to go. The officials for tonight's game. The referee is Sam Young from Black River Falls. The umpire, Haight from Chautauqua. Head linesman is Dennis Overby from Chautauqua. The field judge is Myron Gipp from Spooner. And I guess the stage is set. The boys that work on this field have done the job we thought they would. Jim and his crew and Ed Fandry, you guys are to be congratulated. The field is absolutely beautiful over here tonight. The crowd is ready. We're pumped up, and away we go.
All right, we'll get some pregame comments from Jack Hackman and Mickey Horvat right after the kickoff, which wouldn't exactly make them pregame comments, but we'll let them kick it off. First, going back deep to receive for Waukesha Memorial is Pete Miller, standing back around the 10-yard line, and out back there with him, Tom Reutemann. This is not the big fullback. This is a sophomore.
Boy, this guy's quite a bit smaller than his brother, isn't he?
I guess so.
Reutemann, the fullback, I want to tell you, he is big.
One of those trains that they let loose every once in a while. Dick Stevens has it teed at the 40. We're about set to go, waiting for Sam Young's whistle. And there it is. The Columbus Dons and Waukesha Catholic Memorial for the 1980 WISAA State Football Crown. High end over end boot taken by Reutemann on the run to the 15, 20, 25. Got a hole up to the 30-yard line and diving across out to the 32. And that is where the Crusaders from Memorial will take over. Jack Hackman, any pregame thoughts?
Joe, they're big and strong and apparently talented, and Columbus will really have to go to work. We'll see what happens. The line of scrimmage will determine it. If we can hold our own there, we'll be all right, because we got a lot of talent, and we can go deep, we can go outside, we can go inside. We're a good ball club.
All right, we'll get to Mickey Horvat in a moment. They set it up with a split backfield, and the handoff goes to Reutemann. Bouncing to the outside, 35, 40. He's into the clear. Midfield, 30-yard line. It's a foot race. 30, 20. He's going to score. 10-5 touchdown.
That's no way to start the game, fellas.
Oh, boy. 68 yards. Mike Reutemann bounced out to the outside, and it was a long goner.
Well, what happened there is that he bounced off the defensive end out there. The defensive end had a crack at him. He rolled off to the outside, and the linebackers were blocked down, and he was off and running. No one could catch him. He was gone.
For a big guy, he can really move.
He moved. I thought sure one of our secondary men would catch him, but we did not.
6-0 Memorial leads, and Reutemann will try the extra point. Hauk will hold. Good snap. Hauk gets it down, and Reutemann misses it. He missed it wide to the left. No good. We have 11 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the first period. The score, Waukesha Catholic Memorial 6, Marshfield Columbus nothing.
Members of the Marshfield Sportscasters Club include Paul Manko of Ampe Construction. Experience in concrete means a lot. That's why you should call Ampe Construction, experts in concrete work. Thomas Electric, your electrical contractor with motor rewinding service. Burger Chef Family Restaurant, where the nicest food, nicest things happen to the nicest people. You. L&M Builders and Fixtures, specializing in custom store fixtures for your types of commercial businesses and also kitchen cabinets and vanities for you and your home. And Ronnie Pilsner at Pilsner's Sausage Shop, featuring tantalizing homemade sausages and fresh meats by the half or quarter.
Just a stunning way to start this football game.
That's no way to start this one, I'll tell you that. That's what now the Dons have to, we'll have an upfield battle here, because you know that's got to fire up Waukesha Memorial.
That'll bring the best out of them. Watch.
Bob Vitale kicks it. And taking it, John Radlinger on the 20-yard line. 25, he's got a hole up the middle. Radlinger out it to the 40-yard line. The 40-yard line.
There's one man away that time, too, again, Joe. Another step, he might have had it.
Jeff North made the tackle. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 41. The Columbus Dons with junior Brian Morgan at quarterback. In the backfield, John Radlinger, Larry Olson, and Rob Wagner. Olson will come out in the wingback position on the right side as Morgan sets his team. And he will hand it off to Rob Wagner on the sweep. He's in trouble, but he breaks the tackle. He's out to the 41-42-yard line. And making the tackle there for the Crusaders, Dennis Gogan. And it'll be second down and about 9 for Columbus. Let's give him 1 on the play. Rob Wagner.
This team is a good defensive team. The Milwaukee Conference, the Metro Conference, has been known for years for turning out an awful lot of good defensive teams. And so we're going to be tested very, very likely all night long here.
This big Seichterman at the left end really jammed that play up. Second and about 9 for Columbus. Morgan is back to pass. A little bit of pressure. He loops it out looking for Kevin Kennedy. And he's got it down at the 31-yard line. Beautiful. Tom Reutemann made the tackle. Kevin Kennedy on the receiving end of Don's first and 10 at the 30.
That was a play. About a 27-yard completion on that one. Kennedy was wide open. Reutemann was coming up on it very, very quickly, but Morgan threw that ball beautifully. Laid it right in his arms.
If you just joined us, 6-0. Memorial leads. Scored on the first play of the game. They send a man wide this time, and Morgan will hand it off to Radlinger, hit in the backfield, and John's going to be dropped for a loss. Fine defensive play.
Well, I think the big encouraging part about the play before when they threw the pass, the fact that Brian got the ball away. I think one of our weaknesses, or one of the few weaknesses that this team has, if it may be the only one, would be the fact that they do not give Brian the pass protection that he needs a lot of the time.
Second and 12 at the 32, a loss of 2 on the play for the Dons. Same formation with John Radlinger, the lone remaining back, and Morgan's back to pass. Good pressure. A flare pass is tipped away and almost intercepted. As tipping that ball away, Glenn Sherwinski, and Reutemann nearly picked it off on a deflection.
Well, we may see a few screen passes tonight. We talked about that last week down at Manitowoc, and I think it was put in this week expecting the big rush from this big line.
They're coming hard.
They had double coverage on him, too. That halfback cut in front and almost intercepted. Yeah. And the deflection was almost an interception, too.
That would have been a touchdown had he picked that one off.
Third and 12 at the 32-yard line for Columbus. Wing on the left side this time. That is Rob Wagner. And Morgan is back to pass. Straight drop back. Pressure is coming from the outside. Screen pass, and he overthrew Rob Wagner.
He really threw it badly.
He didn't have much chance to be able to see there. They had those big linemen coming in, and those kids are 6'2", 6'3", and they had their arms up, and he had to throw over them, and he overshot Rob Wagner there.
Dennis Gogan putting the heat on from the right defensive end position. 4th and 12 for Columbus. And Brian Morgan will drop back into punt formation. Back deep to receive for Memorial, Steve Kinsler. Morgan standing on the 45-yard line, gets a lot of time, gets off a poor kick high in the air, and it will bounce and take a Memorial roll. Really didn't go anywhere, but not a good kick for Brian.
That was almost a break for Marshfield Columbus there. That ball almost came down on top of one of the Waukesha ball players with his back towards the line of scrimmage, not knowing it was that short.
We're going to see where the ball is.
17-yard line.
It's only a 15-yard kick.
This time they send a receiver out wide to the left. That's Pete Miller, just a little guy. Comparatively, Reutemann again off the right side. He's got good running room, and he's pushing a Columbus tackler back as he gets out to the 26-yard line. Boy, he's going to be very, very tough to stop. Dick Stevens made the tackle.
That whole team is all fired up. They come off that ball very, very nicely. And of course, Reutemann, they list him at 210, but I got to believe he must be going about 220, 225.
Second and about 3 for Memorial. Coming out wide to the left is Glenn Sherwinski. And they'll hand it again to Reutemann, hit in the backfield and brought down this time. Eric Fehrenbach got a piece of him. And a pickup of nothing. No gain on the play. Third down. A long 2 from the 25-yard line. That time Columbus got to him at the point of attack. Right where that hole was supposed to be. The Dons plugged it up. Reutemann and Brian Ackert behind quarterback Joe Houck. Again, it's Reutemann cutting back this time. He's got the first down out to the 30-yard line and the 32. He just runs very hard. John Olson made the tackle.
He broke a tackle there again, and we had him at the line of scrimmage, but this young man has the ability to bust away. One boy will not bring him down very often.
No, he's just too strong a runner, that's for sure.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line for Waukesha Memorial. They lead 6-0. Scoring on the first play of the game, a 68-yard run by Reutemann. This time they set it up in an I formation, and the handoff goes again to Reutemann, and he is stopped.
Good gang tackling again.
Well, we know that they give the ball occasionally to somebody else because the other boys got some yardage too, but so far they've been giving to Reutemann almost every time the ball is snapped.
Pickup of 1 on the play. Kelly Kennedy made the tackle. Second and about 9 for Columbus at the 33. 7.5 minutes to go, first period. Wide to the left comes Miller. And Joe Houck is back to pass. He's going to run with it now. He's up to the 35 and dropped at the 36-yard line. Very quick little quarterback, John Radlinger and John Olson, along with Rod Rederath on the tackle. Third
Defensive end on that one, Joe, was coming in, Kelly Kennedy, and he kind of run past the ball carrier that time. He's getting a few instructions here from Coach Curl down here on that type of play.
3rd and 6 at the 36.
This is the time we got to hold him now.
And a handoff to Reutemann up the middle, plowing for a couple of yards, but he's short of the first down. Brought down at the 39. And again, Rod Rederath and John Radlinger combining on the stop. 4th down and about 3, and they're going to have to kick it away. So the Dons defense able to hold Memorial on the second possession for the Crusaders. Back to kick, Mike Cantor. We're impressed with him in warm-ups, Jack.
He's kicking the ball very, very high. Wow, that one.
Low line drive kick this time. It'll bounce on the 35, takes a Memorial roll down inside the 30, and it will be knocked down at the 29-yard line. They tried to kick it ahead a little bit, but the official was right there, and they'll spot it at the 29-yard line. And that's where the Columbus Dons will take over, trailing by 6. Dons defense, after the initial shock of that touchdown, played well in the second series.
Yeah, well, I think it's a matter of just getting yourself under control. That will hurt, the big one, the big play.
Well, they're used to hitting that big guy now, and so they're more familiar with him, and they're going to be able to put him down.
Wing left, and the handoff will come to Wagner, cutting back to the right side, rallies to the 35, and brought down at the 38-yard line. And he wasn't brought down too gently by John Wojcik.
I don't think this is going to be a gentle game by any means or stretch of the imagination.
He really necktied him and brought him down hard. Second and 2.
Good gain on that one. They were confused. They tackled the big tackle, big old 79 down there, that Spichterman, 218 pounds. He is really something, and that's the way Robbie usually carries the ball, towards that direction. So we'll see what happens.
Well, he got the other kid there, the 245-pounder right next to him.
Yeah.
Second and 1, and the handoff is going to go to John Radlinger, and he's got the first down.
No, I thought he fumbled.
I did too, yeah.
Held on to it. First and 10 at the 41 for the Dons.
Okay, we got to show them now that we can run on him, and that's going to be the big key here. If we can show them that we're going to pick up some ground by running, they're going to be more applicable for us to get some passes in there too.
Well, on that first play from series there, it showed that Robbie can get outside, and that may be a key.
First and 10, 41-yard line for Columbus. In motion goes Larry Olson toward the far side, and it's Wagner on the counter. Robbing the midfield. Gets away from a couple of men down to the 40-yard line. 35-yard line. Sherwinski brought him down, and he was the last chance.
Beautiful. They're taking it to him now, boys. They're taking it to him.
24 yards on the play.
They split that defensive line that time, and Rob Wagner popped right through there. And he had a black downfield, too. And unfortunately, there's 3 guys there for the one ball player from Marshfield to try to block him.
First and 10 at the 35. Morgan's back to pass. Good protection. Now Bryant's rolling out of the pocket. He's going to loft it long downfield, and it is overthrown and almost caught by a secondary receiver, Tom Nicolai.
Was out there. He was underneath that thing, making one of his patented on-the-ground catches, but just past it.
We saw Tom pick some of those up this year, but it was a matter of inches down there. Brian had running room if he'd have kept going, too.
2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line as Brian Morgan.
I was a little bit afraid of that one being picked off, too, but Brian's got a very, very strong arm, and that ball carried from about the 50-yard line into the end zone by about 5 or 6 yards.
2nd and 10 at the 35, and Morgan will hand it to Wagner, coming back again to the right side, and he's dropped after a 6-yard gain down to the 29-yard line. Tackle made by Mike Reutemann, a linebacker on defense. We're going to be saying his name a lot tonight, I have a feeling. 3rd and 4 at the 29, and if Memorial at any question...
Memorial's calling timeout.
Okay, well, we'll take a break here. 4:11 to go in the first period. The score is Waukesha Memorial 6, Marshfield Columbus nothing.
Members of the Marshfield Sportscasters Club include Buck's Plumbing and Heating. For new home plumbing and heating, call Buck's Plumbing and Heating today. Leroy Eggstad at Leroy's Barbershop, where your taste and requests are followed to give you just the right cut. For you, plenty of free parking. Save time by phoning for an appointment. Arts Body and Alignment Shop. They handle everything from a Jeep to a 10-ton truck. Krause's Inn, featuring a complete menu from steaks to seafood, plus daily noon specials. And Bob Nicolai Construction for excavating, crane service, and trucking, along with residential and commercial construction.
4:11 to go in the first period. Don's trail 6-0, but they're moving the ball and they're opening some holes.
Yeah, this started at our own 29-yard line. Now we're down to their 29, and I guess Mickey mentioned it before. The ground game has got to go, and the ground game is going right now. We need a first down here, though, fellas. We're too far away for a field goal, that's for sure.
Well, we got 3rd down and 4 to go. And for ball practical purposes, we probably could have 2 cracks if needed.
Wing right, Larry Olson. And Morgan with a quick pitch out to Wagner going to the left. Robbie's going to be cut down in the backfield at the 32-yard line. A fine defensive play by Tom Reutemann.
Tom just made a heck of a play out there, Joe. He stripped the man coming down there to block him, and he went right after that, after Rob.
That's going to bring up a 4th and about 7 yards to go. From the 32-yard line.
Looks like we're going for it,
huh?
That surprises me. I thought Walt would be a little bit more conservative than that.
Field position has played such an important factor in the Aquinas game and last week's Roncalli game.
Yeah, really, that was fun.
Well, this is a state championships. This is it. You know, there's no more tomorrows.
That's right. Morgan is back to pass. Good protection this time. Brian throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete, and a very close call on whether he was hit before the ball got there or not. Kelly Kennedy, the intended receiver, playing it defensively, Jim Genduza, and he hit him just when the ball arrived.
Well, that wouldn't have been enough for a first down anyhow. He was cut short by about 3-4 yards.
Really, if you're going to go for the pass, you got to go for the stake. You got to go for the first down. And the way it developed, I thought you might be seeing that screen again, Mickey, but it was not a screen setup.
1st and 10 at the 32 for the Crusaders. And the handoff will go to Big Reutemann. Again, breaks through a hole to the 40-yard line, up to the 43 before he's brought down by Eric Fehrenbach.
Wow, he's tough.
Yeah. Indeed. About an 11-yard pickup. Enough for a first down, and Memorial.
Well, he must have over 100 yards already by himself, hasn't he?
He's got 97 yards right now and 7 carries.
How can a guy that big run that fast?
I don't know. That's why he'll be a college player somewhere.
1st and 10 at the 43.
He's been doing it for 3 years.
Gained over 1,100 yards this year, and this time he tries the left side, and he is stopped as he gets a couple out to the 45. A pickup of 2 yards for Mike Reutemann.
But we don't have anybody else carrying that ball except for Reutemann up to now.
Well, they're going to use Ackert Yetz. He's a converted tight end. That could tell you something about his size right there. He's about 185, they tell me, although the program lists him at considerably less than that, 170.
Well, this program was made up before the season started.
Handoff. This is Ackert trying to go to the right side, and he's tripped up by John Radlinger at the line of scrimmage.
They were ready for him.
Wally Schutz was over there to make the tackle from the left end position.
Here's the time to hold him again.
3rd and 8 at the 45-yard line. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
I'm thinking fumble.
You're begging already, Jack.
3rd and 8. Well, I think we may see Hulk try to throw here. And he's going to roll out to his left. He's going to run with it. He's necktied to backfield and brought down after a 1-yard gain. Kelly Kennedy slowed him up. Pat Krause finished him off.
Kelly was in that backfield waiting for him to come around there, and he looked like he was going to throw that ball. But Kelly wrapped him up. He couldn't put him down, but he threw him off balance. And, of course, one of the other boys then finished the job.
4th and 7 at the 46-yard line for Memorial. They're going to have to kick it away. And we will see Mike Cantor again into the lineup. He's a sophomore. They do have some youngsters on this team. One hopper, he can't handle it. It's loose. He picks up the ball and fumbles. It'll be Columbus ball around the 30-yard line either way.
That's a break. That's a break we needed. We got the ball down at about the 32-yard line.
31 they'll mark it, and Buddy Adelette must have snapped that one. It was a 2-hopper. Cantor couldn't handle it.
I was just thinking about what happened in the Wisconsin game this afternoon when Wisconsin got a safety with a bad snap, but it happens. And it's a good break for Columbus. Now let's take advantage of it.
Dons come out of the huddle with just over a minute to go in the first period. Brian Morgan sends Olson on the wing right side. Now Larry will go in motion toward the far side of the field. Handoff Wagner on the counter play again. He's got good running room down inside the 25 to the 24.
Good 8 yards there, 7-8 yards.
Mike Reutemann on the tackle. And it'll be 2nd down and about 3 yards to go.
We're opening the holes in that offensive line. They're doing a good job right now.
Most of those holes are coming right down the middle there, too.
We said this was a big Memorial team, but we can't forget that Columbus has good size, too. It's a pretty good matchup in that trenches. 2nd and 3 for Columbus. And a handoff to Radlinger off left tackle. John with a first down inside the 20-yard line to about the 17.
John needed that. The last couple of times he's had his hands on a ball, he was wrapped up in the backfield. This time he had a little bit of daylight, and he made himself around 7-8 yards.
Well, they mark it at the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 for Columbus as the Dons are chewing them up right now on the ground, but still no points to show for it. We may have seen the last play of the first period. Dons break the huddle with 4 seconds left. They're going to try and get another one off, but I don't believe they're going to make it. Nope. That's the end of the first period of play. The score is Marshfield Columbus trailing Waukesha Memorial 6-0.
Members of the Marshfield Sportscasters Club include Dan Cole Electric, complete residential and remodeling. For fast service, call Dan Cole Electric at 387-1604. Central Burner and Boiler, industrial and commercial installation and service. Soccer Brothers Corporation, supporting all youth activities. Superior Gas and Oil, your cylinder LP gas and oil dealer for farm and city needs. And Marshfield Wilbert Vault Works, your concrete one-piece step and concrete septic tank dealer.
Well, 1 period in the books. Memorial leading 6-0.
I was going to say, where they put that ball? I thought we were down around the 17, 18-yard line. They set it up at about the 25.
Well, now they've got that straightened out.
Okay. Well, they had everything the first period, but we ran off 14 plays at their 11 from scrimmage in that first period. But, Joe, this reminded me of the game last week. We got the touchdown on our first series, second play of the game. They come back and they do the same thing to us this week. What a different team.
And Brian Morgan hands it off to Olson. Larry cuts it back. He's got some running room now, bouncing to the outside of Olson. That's going to be brought down around the 5-yard line. What a fine run by Olson. It looked like he was going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe even for a loss.
Well, what happened there, I don't think anybody knew he had the ball.
I think you're right, Mickey. We really fooled him. Then when they did find out, he was hit, and he just pulled away. So
it looked like he was trying to block somebody, and a guy just let him block. It looked like he was blocking, but he just kept on going, and he had his arms wrapped around that ball and just kept on going.
1st and goal at the 4 for Columbus. Don's closing in.
Now it's going to get tougher down here.
Radlinger and Ralph Wagner behind Morgan. The handoff to Wagner, sweeping to the right, hit in the backfield and dropped.
He carried it too far back. They couldn't make the cut.
I think we're better off going right up the middle.
Yeah, he kind of ran over Lyle Lang there, and he lost about, where are we now?
Back on the 9, Dan Kobus made the play.
Big
Good
play.
defensive play.
That hurt.
So it's not going to be easy. From down first and goal on the 4, it's now second and goal from the 9.
I got a feeling they're going to have to put it up in the air on this one here, and maybe in a rollout or something. Throw it to one of the Kennedy boys.
Olson, the wingback on the right side. Larry comes in motion now toward the near side of the field, and the handoff on the delay, and hit for a loss.
That big fullback made the tackle.
Reutemann made the tackle on Rob Wagner back around the 11.
Well, we started on the 4, and now we're at the 11. We're right in the middle of the field.
Third and goal. So now the Dons are going to have to put it up, I would think.
Well, we really blew it there if we don't get this 6 points. He had the chance down there. But you're right, Mickey. I was surprised we tried to go wide. Your success has been right over that big tackle, it seemed.
Olson out wide to the right. Kevin Kennedy wide left. Back split behind Morgan. Bryant's back to pass. He's got good protection. Now he rolls out of the pocket and he's being chased. Going to get the ball off. He's got a man in the end zone. And caught! A touchdown by Kevin Kennedy.
That was one heck of a catch. He went up amongst 3 or 4 guys there and pulled it down and landed on his back. Just a beautiful catch.
He took it away from 2 Memorial Crusaders in the end zone for a touchdown.
That was Kelly, wasn't it?
Kelly.
Yeah. Again, that ball snapped on 11-yard line, and Morgan went all the way back to about the 35-yard line before he threw it.
Kevin Kennedy made the catch.
Yeah, okay. It's only 11-yard pass, fellas.
Yeah.
He threw it about 40 yards.
At least.
Dick Stevens to try the extra point. Very important. The kick is up, and it's wide. He missed it to the left. No good. So we're all even. 9:58 to go in the first half. The score: Columbus 6, Waukesha Memorial 6.
Members of the Marshfield Sportscasters Club include Gordy's Sales and Service, home of the famous front-wheel drive Renault, and expert service on all makes of automobiles. Brett and Don's Barbershop and the Clock Shop at 903 South Central Avenue. Don Nikolai Construction and Nikolai Oswald Concrete, dealer for commercial, industrial, total building, and home construction. Jim and Bob Novacek at Stanley's Distributors in Hewitt. Stan and Don at Stainless and Repair, sales, service, and repair for all your stainless steel fabrication and bulk pickup milk tanks and new Walker tanks.
Well, big sigh of relief, guys. We're back even.
Well, the game starts all over again, and as I said, that's a big thing. The butterflies are all gone now. Now they're going to be out there hitting and just hitting.
Dick Stevens has it teed up on the 40-yard line. And he gets a spinner that will be taken by one of the up men at the 25 up to the 30-yard line, and the 35 up to the 37. On that return is Pete Kniezer, and he made a nice run out of it. 37-yard line, they'll start.
Well, Dick just didn't get all the ball that time, but he got enough of it.
Well, the key here again is to stop them.
Yeah. Stevens hasn't missed many extra points this year, but he missed one in the Aquinas game, but we had the safety to cushion us on that one.
And the handoff goes to Reutemann again, and he breaks the tackle, and he bounces out to the 44-yard line, and he just doesn't go down.
No, he is good.
He's got tremendous balance there. You take a look at his thighs, and my gosh, I'll bet you he's got about 30-inch thighs there.
I tell you, if that first hole isn't there, he bounces around, he finds another one. That's a good football player.
He's got the thighs of Ivan de Jesus, I was told. 2nd and 3 at the 44-yard line for Memorial, and the handoff this time is to Brian Ackert, and he's got a first down out to about the 48-yard line before he's driven back. Larry Olson's not playing on the defensive left end. Wally Schutz is. So far he's holding his own. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line for Waukesha Memorial. They haven't put together anything resembling a drive yet.
Well, they had that big run, but that's going to happen.
Fake to the fullback, Huff going outside, and Wally Schutz is there to greet him and bring him down for a loss. Good play.
Good play by Wally.
I'll tell you, Walt must have told him to be careful piling on and stuff like that because they heard the whistle and blowing there, and he didn't want to let the kid go down on the ground. But typically you're going to throw them down hard, but they're very careful. They don't want no 15-yarders.
Yeah, that's a bad mark, too.
I thought they would lose more than
I
that.
thought he's further back than that, too.
They got him to the 46, and he really should be back about the 40.
I'd say 43 or 44, yeah.
Second and 12 at the 46 for Memorial. Send a receiver out wide to the left, everyone else in tight. Handoff on the draw to Reutemann, and he's got about 4 yards before Wally Schutz again wraps him up.
Well, they're back to the original line of scrimmage, so they got 3rd and 10 now.
Out to the 49-yard line, 3rd and just less than 10 coming up.
And now we'll look at their pass game.
Houck has not thrown the ball yet, right, Del?
Well, he's gone down like he was going to throw a ball a couple of times, but he ended up throwing a ball around, or I should say running the ball up. He's very, very quick.
He splits his backs, and this time he's back to throw, rolling out to his left. A right-handed thrower flips it back over the middle. It's incomplete, as his intended receiver was Pete Kniezer, and it was overthrown.
John Olson was right there, but again, they're very, very careful of the penalties. He didn't want to try and get too close to him. We're afraid of a interference call.
4th down and 9 yards to go, and they'll have to kick it away. Back to kick it is Mike Cantor. Kevin Kennedy back deep to receive on the 25-yard line. Cantor gets it off, almost blocked by Larry Olson. It'll bounce on the 22-yard line, takes a Memorial roll down inside the 15 before it'll be called dead down there, and the Dons will start deep in their own end.
Larry Olson missed it by inches.
Just about blocked that punt, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 15 for Columbus. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Dons and Waukesha Memorial all even, 6-6. State championship game. You're listening to Columbus High School football on WDLB Marshfield.
We're going to lose a little time here. We just may end up on this play with a 5-yard penalty.
Ryan Morgan late getting off the sideline.
Giving him some more instructions.
They're going to have a fast whistle here, or a fast count.
We can't afford a 5-yarder on our own 15-yard line.
He got it off.
Morgan will hand it off to John Rattlinger going to the outside. John tries to hurdle a tackler and goes down hard at the 16. Not much there this time.
I'll tell you, they've got very, very good speed on the outside over there, and they've been able to block us out on the outside runs, except for that one that Wagner had. And we've been much, much more fortunate going up the middle.
Well, that's about a yard at most.
Walt's bread and butter, that counter play, sort of, and the blocking up there is fine. We're kind of trapping them in the line, making it effective.
2nd and about 9 yards to go. Ball just outside the 15-yard line. Morgan fakes and now hands it to Wagner, sweeping to the right. Robbie's got some running room out to the 20, 24-yard line.
Could be a flag on that one. That was a little bit late hit on 71 down there.
We got a ball player down for Waukesha Memorial.
It'll be 3rd and about 2 at the 23-yard line.
Jim Chinjusa. Why is it one of their small guys?
They're taking Robbie out of the game. That kind of surprises me. Coach figures he needs a little rest.
3rd and 2 at the 23.
Well, he got clobbered pretty hard there. A little bit of piling on. Maybe he just wants to get a quick drink. He'll be right back out there.
Genduza's up and off the field under his own power. Big play for the Dons. 3rd and 2. I'd like to get a first down here and keep them from getting good field position. Setback is John Rattlinger. Now in motion goes Rich Nikolai. Quarterback draw. Morgan's got the first down. Out to the 27.
The bench was calling for a timeout over here, but nobody saw it.
It was too late. They were lined up and weren't looking this way, and they ran the play anyhow, but they got the first down.
It wasn't Rich Nikolai. It was Pat Stangl in motion. Pat hasn't played a whole bunch this year, and I didn't recognize the number.
Yeah, he was injured before the season started. Just got in back from the injury list about 3 weeks ago.
I don't know if that last one was a design play or Morgan just felt that he had the spot open.
That's a play in the playbook all year. They did it a few games back quite a bit.
1st and 10 at the 26, and Morgan hands it off on a delay, and very little for Rob Wagner. on a delay and very little for Rob Wagner as he picks up maybe 2 yards out to the 28.
What's Rob got so far? He's carried the ball 10 times for 49 yards. He's having a nice evening.
5.5 minutes to go in the first half. 6-6 the score. They scored on the first play, a 68-yard run by Mike Reutemann. The Dons came back, an 11-yard touchdown pass, Brian Morgan, to Kevin Kennedy in the second period. Each extra point was wide. In motion goes Larry Olson toward the near side of the field, and Morgan's back to pass. A little bit of pressure from the outside. Brian rolling, and he will throw it out here for Radlinger. There's a crowd of people there, and it's caught. Memorial says they've got it. The officials say Columbus has it.
Well, they both have it.
Memorial.
Is it going?
The Memorial players are going off the field. If there's co-possession, it's offensive foul.
Hey, we got it. Columbus. I think who's that?
John Radlinger.
What a battle. John Radlinger, okay. He was fighting in there for that ball.
Genduza was the Memorial boy. He's back. And he had his hands on it, but Radlinger pulled it away. Or co-possession goes to the offense. That's exactly what it was.
Well, I'll tell you, he went up amongst 4 guys there. It was a high thrown pass, and it was up for grabs, but Radlinger just wanted to make sure he had that ball.
First and 10 at the 43. Something tells me it's our year. Handoff, Rob Wagner hitting the backfield, and he's brought down after a 2-yard loss. That one was a little bit slow developing because they had good pursuit there and really gummed up the works.
Well, I'll tell you, I believe that they get across that line so quick that they block that lane and make you have to go deeper than you want to go when you're making that play.
Good penetration by the right side of the Memorial line. Second and about 13 back on the 40-yard line for Columbus. 4 minutes to go in the first half. And Morgan will hand it off. This time it's Olson sweeping to the right. Larry's hitting the backfield. The ball almost popped loose. He got back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, I thought that one was going to get away from him. Third and about 13 as Larry is brought down right on the 40-yard line.
A little bit slow in getting up there, but he is getting back to the line of scrimmage, or to the huddle.
He's had a shoulder problem, and they figured one good hit, and he might be hurting. And we're going to have to keep a good eye on Larry. He's not playing defensively. Usually he goes both ways. Third and 13 at the 40-yard line for the Columbus Dons. Kevin Kennedy will come out wide to the left. Olson is flanked to the right. Radlinger, the lone remaining back. Rob Wagner in the slot left. Morgan calls his signals, and Brian hands it off to Radlinger, who is smothered back in the backfield at the 38-yard line. Somebody's not doing the job up in the front line.
Well, either that or else what's happened is that the Memorial coaches have seen what's happening in the middle of the line, and they changed their stance and where they're making their cuts.
Just under 3 minutes to go, and Memorial may get the ball back here. Brian Morgan to kick it away. Back deep to receive for the Crusaders, Pete Miller.
We need a good punt here.
Good snap.
It was offside.
And Brian will get off a beauty. High spiraling boot. Miller will take it back on the 25-yard line, and he gets down to the 20, and down he goes. Rod Rederath, yep. All over the place.
Rod just made one heck of a tackle there. How he got down that field that quick, I don't know.
He was there. First and 10. At the 21-yard line for Memorial. 2.5 minutes to go. And they're going to have to throw the ball if they want to score here.
Well, let's not let Reutemann do what he did the first time.
Well, we won't even think about that. Ackert goes in motion this time toward the far side of the field, and Houck is back to pass. Throwing long, he's got a man out there, and the ball is in and out of his hands at the 45-yard line. That was John Wojcik. And he should have had that one.
That was almost a well-thrown ball right in his fingertips there. He should have had it.
He had it. Boy, he had it. That was TD all the way.
He's about 2 steps beyond John Olson.
Yeah, he is fast.
Second and 10 on the 21-yard line. Close call. No damage done.
A lot of hearts and throats, though. Nothing on the scoreboard.
This time they send a receiver out wide to the right. And Ackert again goes in motion toward the far side of the field, and Houck is back to throw again. Rolling out, little pressure, throws it out and overthrew his intended receiver, Brian Ackert.
Good pressure that time, forced his mark off target. He never had a chance to set up, had a throw on the run, and never had a chance to complete it.
Pat Krause kind of thinks he thought should have had him and is mad at himself for not having him, but he just missed getting him. Quarterback, that is. 3rd and 10
at the 21.
One more time, fellas. One more time.
Pat Krause gave this Mike Orr fits last week down at Manitowoc. He was really after that kid all night long.
Miller comes wide to the right. Let's see if they send Ackert in motion again. Not this time. And they hand it off on the delay, and it's Ackert hitting the backfield. Dropped for a loss. Back on the 17 or 18-yard line. So the Dons defense holds. Columbus should get the ball back in real good field position here with a little time to do something. Back on the 19, they call him down. A loss of a couple. 4th and 12.
Now, he's had a couple of good punts and a couple of bad punts here. Let's just get an average punt off here, and that'll satisfy us here.
Mike Cantor, who had trouble with the snap on the last one. This time he gets a good snap. Gets off a kick. It's blocked! The ball is picked up by Columbus at the 24-yard line. I think it was Rod Rederath.
Another break.
Rod Rederath. Out on the 18-yard line, it was Rod Rederath who blocked that kick. Dons 1st and 10 at the 18. Here we go. A minute 20. Time to stick one in on him here quick.
Well, we got to move it. We're in the huddle yet. If we can't spend the last minute in the huddle, you got to get some plays in here now.
Well, we got all 3 timeouts left too, haven't we?
Yeah, we have 3. They used 1.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Brian Morgan is going to roll out to his left looking to throw, and he throws long for Kevin Kennedy, who's down there, and the ball is tipped away incomplete.
I don't know if I'd go for a whole bunch at one time. Let's get about 8-10 of those yards and get closer.
You're right, Mickey. That kind of surprised me that we're going for the bomb so much. We have this play where John Radlinger kind of delays in the backfield and slips down the middle, and believe me, it's going to be open. Of course, he doesn't get that much time to pass. He had a little time that time, but he was rolling out to his left throwing. But you talk about kids this age. He's only a junior. Mickey, what about that arm? That's strong.
Oh, my gosh.
It's unbelievable how strong that kid is.
My understanding is that he throws 300-400 passes a day.
2nd and 10. Morgan back to pass. A little bit of pressure. Screen pass. Rob Wagner's got it down to the 10-yard line, cutting back, and he's still going. Wagner's got a 1st down.
They're going to call a timeout.
Out on the 5-yard line. 44 seconds remain. They'll stop the clock to set the chains.
They called a timeout.
I don't know if they waited for the referees to blow the whistle on that one or not, or as soon as they saw the coaches, but they stopped that clock on a board.
3-yard line. They'll mark him down. We have 44 seconds to go here. The Dons for the 1st and goal. Score is tied 6-6, and this crowd of about 4,000 people, partisan to Columbus, of course, going crazy.
Well, I'll tell you, they must have had about 15, 16 buses come up here from Milwaukee, from Waukesha for this game, so they've got a pretty good crowd of people here across the way, too.
1st and goal at the 3. Last time the Dons had the ball down there, they ended up with a 3rd and 11 after a 1st and goal at the 4.
Well, we got, we'll look at the end. The last time we got down there, we had Tom Nicolai at one end, and that's the end they ran to. He's not that big to block these big men they got down there. Because look at the defensive end on the left-hand side. Number 79 is a big spectrum, and he's 218 pounds. Then next to him is this number 50. He is an absolutely big boy, too, down there. He goes 245 pounds.
They make me look small.
I guess you're right.
We had a discussion down there. The Waukesha Memorial coaching staff was unhappy about something, called the official over, and I don't know what took place.
He's pointing at our bench, and I don't know why he is.
1st and goal at the 3. Handoff, John Rodlinger off left tackle. Touchdown!
Okay. Attaboy, John.
John Rodlinger took it over. The Dons lead 12-6.
Second man through the hole. Let's make the extra point now.
Dick Stevens on to try the extra point by placement. Columbus on top 12-6.
Wall Crow's walking around here. That's only a game.
Brian Morgan will hold.
Come on, Dick, put this one through now.
Good snap, and it's blocked. Reutemann blocked it. He can't storm it through there.
He does what he wants on that field anytime he wants.
So with 40 seconds to go in the half, it's Columbus 12, Waukesha Memorial 6.
Members of the Marshfield Sportscasters Club include Spencer & Sons Incorporated Plumbing and Heating, your dealer for Kohler and American Standard fixtures and KitchenAid dishwashers. Mickey Horvat at Trading Post Homes, Highway 13 South, Marshfield, your Marshfield Homes dealer in this area. Arneson Sign Shop, your full-service sign shop located just south of Marshfield on Highway 13. And Suburban Auto Sales. See Tom Frank for the best deal on the low-mileage reconditioned used car at Suburban Auto Sales, Highway 13 north of Marshfield.
So the block punt by Rod Rederath turned into points by the Dons.
Well, didn't he mention that in that first game against Bosco, Thomas Moore, that they had trouble with their special team?
Yes.
They're having trouble here again.
Yes, they are. Dick Stevens to kick it off. Columbus on top 12-6. And it's a low kick that will bounce on about the 40-yard line. Reutemann picks it up, and he's going up the middle out to about the 38 before
You
he's
want him
struck
to get a head of steam up when he's running.
Well, they're going to throw the ball now. They got a good quarterback. They got some very, very fast ends, and we've got to play our men back about the 20-yard line.
35 seconds and running.
Ball on the 38-yard line.
Again, as I said, they have 2 timeouts left.
Reutemann, the lone remaining back, and he gets the handoff as he gets a couple of yards before Pat Krause wrestles him to the ground. That was a struggle. That was a struggle.
Asking for a timeout. Either let that clock go down. I guess they're satisfied going into the locker room 12-6.
That appears to be the way it's going to be here as the clock's down to 5.
Yes, it does me too.
And that is the end of the first half of play with the score, Marshfield Columbus 12, Waukesha Memorial 6. Now our halftime show, sponsored by Mickey Horvat's Trading Post. To the 32-yard line. When on the very first play from scrimmage, Mike Reutemann broke it for a touchdown. Backfield and the handoff goes to Reutemann. Bouncing to the outside, 35-30. He's into the clear. Midfield, 30-yard line. It's a foot race. 30, 20. He's going to score. 10-5 touchdown.
That's no way to start the game, fellas.
Oh, boy. 68 yards. Mike Reutemann bounced out to the outside, and it was a long goner. And the extra point, however, was missed. And it was 6-0 at that point. Waukesha Memorial leading the Columbus Dons, and you kind of had a wonder with those guys jumping out that quickly and getting the lead. However, the Dons came back early in the second period and marched at 32 yards and came up with a 3rd and goal situation from the 11-yard line when they evened it up. Now wide to the right, Kevin Kennedy wide left, back split behind Morgan Bryant's back to pass. He's got good protection. Now he rolls out of the pocket and he's being chased. Going to get the ball off. He's got a man in the end zone. Caught! A touchdown by Kevin Kennedy.
That was one heck of a catch. He went up amongst 3 or 4 guys there and pulled it down and landed on his back. Just a beautiful catch.
He took it away from 2 Memorial Crusaders in the end zone for a touchdown. The extra point by Dick Stevens was wide to the left, and the Dons were even at that point, 6-6, that coming with 9:58 to go in the half. The Dons got on the board again late in the first half following a blocked kick by Rod Rederath. That set Columbus up on the Memorial 18-yard line, and 2 plays later, they found themselves with a 1st and goal at the 3. 1st and goal at the 3, handoff, John Rodlinger off left tackle, touchdown!
Okay. Attaboy, John.
John Rodlinger took it over. The Dons lead 12-6.
Second man through the hole.
Mike Roy Reutemann blocked the extra point, and that's where we are here at halftime. 12-6, the Dons on top.
99 yards rushing, you might add. Mike Reutemann has picked up 110 yards in 11 carries, but when they got sacked going back to punt, they lost 15 on that one. Joe Hawk, the quarterback, who we thought would carry the ball more, has carried the ball 3 times for 3 yards. Brian Eckert has carried the ball 3 times for 1 yard. They may use them more in the second half, or maybe they're just kind of decoying us or trying to lull us to sleep. But we picked up a total of 144 yards. We got 75 yards rushing, 69 yards passing. They have not completed a pass. They have attempted 3. Brian Morgan has attempted 9 passes and has completed 4 passes. First downs, they have 3. We have 8. We have 5 rushing and 3 by passing. They have punted 3 times. We have punted twice in this ball game thus far. We have an average of 26 yards punting. They have an average of 24. They lost quite a bit in that one punt that was blocked on them. And we might add that the blocked punt really, to give a team like the Columbus High School Dons the little bit of an opening, and they'll take it all the way. Individually for the Dons, Brian Morgan has carried the ball once for 4 yards, got a first down on that carry. Robbie Wagner has carried the ball 11 times for 47 yards. John Radlinger has carried it 5 times for 12 yards. 3 of those 12 came on the touchdown run. Larry Olson has carried the ball 3 times for 12 yards. He did pick up 13 yards on one carry, was held without any gain on one, and lost yardage on another. But I guess the game is everything we thought it was going to be. The it's a great defensive battle. I think we're going to have to be concerned in this second half about the passing ability of Waukesha Memorial. We could win it or lose it in that department with our secondary, I think, fellas. This kid is a good passer. They had one that was right in a boy's arms. He dropped it, and it did not. That could have been the TD all the way. They got a break, you might say, on the first play of the game when the kid ran 60-some yards for the touchdown. But you make your breaks, and we've seen this Columbus team now. This is the 12th time, fellas, this year. And as I mentioned earlier, they're a very opportunist team. You give them a little bit of an opening, and they're going to kill you with it. Look at La Crosse Aquinas. They had the bad snap from center. We got the 2 points. Okay, they punted on the safety. The very first play after that safety, they throw the touchdown pass, and bingo, we got the 8-point lead. We missed that extra point, which at that time in that particular game was one big extra point. But I'll tell you one thing, at this juncture, I'd rather be ahead by 6 than behind by 6. And if it's up to the toe of the kicker, I'm glad I got Dick Stevens on my side.
Balanced team. They can run inside, they can go outside, they can pass short, they can pass long, and their kicking game is like Del just said, top. So they can do a lot of things. That puts an awful lot of pressure on that defensive team. You can't overplay any aspect of it, because Columbus is versatile enough to do it all.
Well, with Brian Morgan back there in the quarterback position, he's got a good arm, but you got to remember that he's got 3-4 boys out there that if you get it near him, they're going to catch it. Either one of the Kennedy boys, or Tom Nicolai, or Krause, or Radlinger, or Wagner. They know how to throw that ball, but they also know how to catch it, and that's probably one of the things that was the difference in the first half. Was Memorial had their hands on the ball a couple of times, but they weren't able to hang on to it, and if those balls are thrown the same way to the Columbus receivers, they catch it. They don't let it get away from them. Well, that's a big difference.
We've seen that twice. We saw it on the Kevin Kennedy touchdown reception, and John Radlinger pulled a circus act out of his hat right down in front of us here around the 50-yard line. I don't know how he got that. Well, you're right, Joe. How did he catch that ball? We've completed 4 passes, and it's to 4 different players. That's kind of something in our favor, too. Each of the Kennedy boys have caught one, and Radlinger has caught one, and Robbie Wagner has caught one. So they got that screen pass to work over there, and I still think we're going to see that a little bit more tonight. When these teams are teeing off on the quarterback, they know he can pass. That's going to make that screen pass more effective.
Well, it has to make the running game more effective, too. We've shown them now in that first half that we can run on him, and with that in mind, and plus the passing, the game could be proved to be very, very interesting, but they have to stop Reutemann. And in case they do end up completing 1 or 2 passes, that could cause an awful lot of difficulty for us, too.
I don't like just having a 6-point lead. I'd feel much more comfortable if it was 7. I don't know.
Joe, with the 2-point conversion to 6, are they 7, isn't that? This kid, I think, if they get a touchdown, they have to go for that 2-pointer. You know who's going to get the ball. They're going to give it to that freight train.
Well, Well, we have some fun going on here now. There's some boys from Memorial running past here with a sign, but the Columbus fans are very nice.
Look at almost. They got a wall set up for them right down there. There goes the sign.
Oh, boy.
Well, I was going to say everybody's being gentlemanly alike, but that changes in a hurry.
It's a fight for the sign now. The Columbus band out here playing at halftime, and I think it's mostly fun going on down there.
Oh, yeah. They got their sign back.
Columbus band right now is over there in front of the Waukesha stands and entertaining them. They brought up, what, 6 buses, did you say, Mickey?
Oh, no, about 16. There were 10 of them pulled up here at one time, and there was about 4 or 5 more here when that 10 pulled in here. And they got a good gathering here. I'll tell you, you ride the bus from Waukesha up here, and it's much simpler for us to ride down to Milwaukee than it is for them to ride up here, because we're up in the North Country, and you think this is, you know, the far reaches of the universe. But for us to go down there, sometimes it's simpler because we're more used to the longer distance of travel and so forth.
I'll never get used to it anymore. The older I get, the worse it gets. I don't care what happens tonight, guys, how far they got to go. This so they go home a loser.
That's right.
We're going to beg, I'll guarantee you that, this next 24 minutes of football coming up this second half. It's anybody's ball game, I'll guarantee you that. But things are looking up for the Dons. We've proved a few things this half, that our defense has carried us through all year long. And the defense was shocked on that first one, I am sure. And they're going to do everything in their power to not let them cross that goal line. One thing we've got going for us in the second half now, we are going to receive.
That's right.
And let's hope we get something generated in a drive, because when they scored their touchdown, John Radlinger got the kickoff after that one, and he was very patient. He waited for his blockers, and he took that ball up to about the 42-yard line, I do believe. We got our first possession that time. But we have a Walkrow coaches in every aspect of football, and he covers this kickoff return very, very thoroughly all year long. They worked on that so many times, and I guess, fellas, these both coaches have got to be excellent coaches. They have their teams where they are tonight, and win or lose, it's just what an honor to be in this state championship football game. But the Dons were there once before and came out on a short end. The field goal that we all thought was going to go through hit the upright, the post on the side, and bounced back. But we would sure like to have those.
Well, the boy who missed that one just walked past here, Dickman.
Yeah.
No, he's down here in front of us here.
Okay, yeah, Bobby, our friend Bobby. I didn't see him tonight yet. But we would like to have those 2 missed points. They would like to have their 1 missed point. But let's hope we get a chance to kick about 2 or 3 more extra points tonight, fellas. I mean the Dons.
Well, no, this is a state championship game, and whenever you see a state championship game, you're going to see people that are, the ball players are ready for it. And hey, you don't go 11-0 and 10 or 9-2 and not be good and play good competition. This Waukesha Memorial team plays down that Metro Conference. And I'll tell you, I live down there, and that conference is tough. But this conference up here that the Columbus plays in, and Aquinas and the Rapids and so forth, we've got some good teams up here too, and Columbus does play a good, tough schedule. What was it, the first 4 or 5 games of the season, every game they met somebody that hadn't been defeated yet until they met the Dons. So we're real happy with our schedule, and of course the kids are ready.
Okay, now I think the one thing we may not have pointed out here in this ball game thus far, this late in the year, it's a cool night. I don't notice it tonight, but there has not been a fumble in the ball game as yet, and that's a little bit unusual. The games we saw this afternoon, Wisconsin Rapids was playing Kenosha Temper. They had so many fumbles and turnovers in that ball game. Just an exciting game to watch, but our hearts bled when Rapids didn't win that one. We were pulling for the team from up this neck of the woods, so let's hope Columbus can win this one so we bring a state championship in Class A right back to central Wisconsin, where we really deserve one.
Right. Well, that field might have been a little bit wet this afternoon down there, too.
It looked like it was.
Yeah.
Like
over here, this field is in excellent condition. As we mentioned, Ed Fondry and his crew had just done one excellent job of getting this field ready for this championship game, and everybody in Marshfield can be proud of it. And of course, Walt had mentioned it earlier in the week that it's not just a Columbus victory, it's a whole town victory, because everybody's pulling for them all season long.
All right, we'll be back with more on our halftime show in a minute.
Did you know you could...
Kelly.
Boy, we have got a crowd here tonight, folks.
Well, let's just hope this is the last time we see this kid kick off for the half.
Yeah, you're right, Mikey.
With good news then. 12-6, the score as we start the second half. Vitale has it teed up. Rob Wagner and Larry Olson back deep to receive for the Dons. And it's a low-line shot kick that will be taken by John Radlinger on the 20-yard line. To the 25, gets through a little bit of a hole and is dumped at the 30-yard line. And that is where the Columbus Dons will take it.
John is not getting up. He's hurt.
He was shaken up this week in practice. And he had a bad shoulder, I believe it was, a bad bruise on his shoulder, and he is down.
I think it's the wind knocked out of him, the way he's moving his legs.
He really got hit hard.
No, he's...
If at all possible,
he's coming off on it by himself here now.
He's holding that right arm a little bit limp.
Yeah, it's limp. That's too bad. We may not see John anymore tonight.
That will be a tough loss.
We'll lose him,
especially on defense.
On defense, that'll be the big thing.
Well, let's hope he'll be able to continue. But right now, let's check who's in that backfield at the fullback position. It's Dick Stevens.
Yeah, he's been playing there this week in place of Radlinger and Larry Olson.
John will be back. He's moving it well.
Handoff goes to Wagner. Sweep to the right for Rob, and he is really hit as he got to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, you're going to hear it from the crowd.
Yeah, they're calling face mask down there, but they aren't going to get the call.
No, it was.
The fans wanted it, but the official says no.
The play made by Glenn Sherwinski for Memorial. Good defensive play from his cornerback position. But he did get the face mask. You're going to miss a couple of...
There has not been a penalty called in this game, and you'll notice in games of this type, the officials kind of keep the flags in their pocket.
Well, these kids also played 11, 12 games, and they get to a championship game. They don't make the little mistakes.
Yeah, you're right, Mickey.
Radlinger's back in.
And the handoff is a very short gain on the play by John, as he picks up maybe 2 out to the 33-yard line.
He says, my arm might be sore, but my legs aren't.
It would take a disaster like an earthquake or something, I think, to keep him out of there.
I was surprised he carried the ball. I was thinking in terms of fumbling with that arm. He doesn't have the strength in it if he's hurt. He's got a very badly bruised.
And it's right arm, too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
3rd and 8. Wagner the wing on the left side, and Rob will get the call, sweeping back to the right, cuts it up, but he's going to be stopped well short of the first down as he's stopped at the 35-yard line, and the Crusaders hold defensively. They came out and played a very good defensive series.
Well, they did that first half, too. That first time we had the ball, they held us. It's up to us now to get a good punt off and to hold them down here.
Brian Morgan will kick. Back deep to receive is Pete Miller. 5'8", 160-pounder.
He's a speedster.
Little guy comparatively. And they've got a good rush coming after Brian. He gets the kick off.
Should get
and
good roll, too.
The 45 gets a good roll down inside the 25-yard line. Miller will let it go. It'll roll dead on about the 19.
Brian Morgan saw them coming in, and he got it off in a hurry, and he got off the kind of punt that you wanted under that case. It was low, but the ball was turning, and you get the kind of roll that you need at that kind.
Well, the 46-yard kick, fellas, is not too bad.
We'll take it.
Once in a while, the Badgers would like something like that.
1st and 10 at the 20. Hey, they won today.
Yes, 39-19.
High formation. Reutemann and Ackert behind the quarterback. How can he hit the that slant pattern over the middle? And it's caught out at the 33-yard line.
Oh, boy. That was a super play.
Super play is right. I can 83.
That was Roychek who caught the ball as they faked it to the fullback, and everybody was watching Reutemann, and Houck pulled it out of his stomach and fired to Roychek for a gain of, 14 yards?
14 yards. Lightning almost struck twice on the first play.
Handoff to Reutemann this time, and he's got some running room out across the 35 to about the 38, picks up about 4 yards on the play. And making the tackle over there, Wally Schutz.
That loosened Marshfield Columbus's defense up a little bit with that quick pump pass across the middle. And, well, let's just hope that isn't a sign of things to come here.
There's a spot there.
2nd and about 6 for the Crusaders. Reutemann again, and he's hitting the backfield, but still powers his way forward for 3 yards to the 41-yard line. And it's 3rd and about 3. Big play coming up here.
Well, they always say offense wins games, defense wins championships, and that's where we are. Defense right now for Columbus.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of big plays coming up.
Yeah, we sure are, fans. We're just hanging on now, down the home stretch.
8:25 to go, third period. Hauk will hand it to Reutemann going off the right side. He's got the first down out to the 45-yard line. Gets up that head of steam, and they just can't bring him down on that initial hit. And Reutemann picks up a big 4 yards and a first down for Waukesha Memorial.
The times you do stop him is when one of the down men can get into the backfield and get him a hit before he gets to start. Once he gets started, he's just tough to bring down. He's got to be one of the top backs in the state this year.
Receiver wide right, and they hand it off again to Reutemann. He's got a little bit of running room out for about 4 yards to near midfield, 49-yard line. The Dons will bring him down. And getting off the bottom of the pile, John Radlinger.
The right side of their line is moving us back now.
And that's a very strong side of our line over there. The left side of our defensive line. They're going at Kevin Hammond over there and company, and that is our strong point. This surprises me.
Well, that's where they've got their big people, too.
Yeah, you're right.
2nd and 6, and Hauk is going to roll off to his left. He flips a pass out, and it's incomplete, looking for Brian Ackert on the 45-yard line.
Good pressure by Kelly Kennedy on the passer.
He made him throw that ball before he really wanted to.
He had the linebacker beat the kid coming out for the pass.
3rd and about 6 for the Dons at the 49-yard line. 7:30 remains in the third period. 12-6, Columbus.
Big play.
Wide left comes Miller, and Hauk will pitch it back to Reutemann on the sweep to the right, and he's got close to first down yardage.
Yard short.
At the 46-yard line, but he is close. Maybe they'll give him to the 45.
They'll go for it.
No, 46, but they're still about a yard short. Big play.
They were able
to game the way it is. I'd go for it too. They're going to call a timeout.
They were able to bend them back that time. Had he been able to fall forward, he'd have had the first down.
Timeout, 7:09 to go, third period. It's Columbus 12, Waukesha Catholic Memorial 6.
Members of the Marshfield Sportscasters Club include Ken Weiss Electric, your electrical contractor for farm, home, and commercial. Call Ken Weiss for all your electrical needs. Bill Welch Construction for new homes and remodeling. For quality work, call your quality contractor. Bill Welch at 387-4324. See Gary Finnemore at Central Auto Repair, 201 West 6th Street, repairing imports and domestics, complete auto repair. Doyne Excavating Incorporated. See Ron Doyne for excavating, grading, bulldozing, trenching, or for sand, gravel, granite, black dirt, or ornamental white rock. For professional results, call them. And see Hafer's Refrigeration. See Doug for complete sales and service for dairy, cooled bulk tanks, thermostor heat recovery units, and Bomatic milking equipment in the central Wisconsin area.
Well, the crowd on their feet, 4th and 1 at the Dons 46-yard line.
Offside.
The right guard jumped.
They're not happy with that, but he was definitely outside. He was all out. He missed that count, but he must have been way off on the count.
There was no question. And Hauk is very, very upset, but now they're going to have to punt.
Yeah.
So that what could have been a very critical play never happened.
I was worried about our team getting offside on that one.
Have faith, Del. You gave up on him last week.
I never gave up on him.
Cantor in to do the kicking, and almost Larry Olson got that one again, but very, very high kick. It's fumbled by Kevin Kennedy, but he's back on him on the 21-yard line. Jack, you talked about that before the game, where that ball kind of fades away at the very end. And just about got away from Kevin that time.
Okay, they started from the 19-yard line, and we're starting from about the 21-yard line. They brought the ball out to the 40, about 30, 35 yards. Let's go all the way. A nice long drive here could eat up a lot of that clock and put us in nice position.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line for the Columbus Dons. CWCC champs going against second-best team in the Metro Conference this year, Waukesha Memorial, and Brian Morgan's back to pass on first down. A lot of pressure, and he's going to be snowed under. Back inside the 10-yard line at about the 7. And Brian just didn't have the time. They had all kinds of people after him. Back on the 8-yard line, getting in there first was Dennis Gogan, and he had some friends.
Yeah, that's a big play for Waukesha Memorial, I'll tell you that. 2nd and 23 back on the 8-yard line. Wow.
So now they've got the Dons pinned back against their own goal line here. Morgan brings his team out of the huddle, splits his backs, and they hand it off to Wagner coming up the middle, and Robbie's got good running room up to near the 20-yard line. Brought down at the 19. Good run by Rob, and a big play for Columbus, getting out of the shadow of the goalpost there.
Little breathing room.
Well, they still got about 13 yards to go for a first down, but at least they got the breathing room they need now to not have to worry about that goal line being right behind them. Let's pick up another 7, 8, 9, 10, even 15 yards, get a first down.
Let's get the first down here, otherwise they're going to get that ball around midfield or thereabouts. Banking on an average kick. Big play. Olsen, wing right. Morgan barks out the signals, and he'll hand it off to Wagner, sweeping to the right. Rob is to the 20, 25-yard line, and he's snowed under there. On the 21, they got him. And again, on the tackle is Gogan.
I thought I missed a down marker someplace along the line here.
Mark Seichterman also in on the tackle.
Oh, he's done a lot of tackles. Going around that end is pretty tough. They've got almost about 450, 470 pounds on that side, the two boys they got there.
Fourth down and long, and the Dons are going to have to kick it. Brian Morgan back to do the punting. Good snap, and Brian gets it off and almost blocked it. High kick. Miller will take it on the run at the 46-yard line. To the outside, he breaks the tackle down to the 44, and Rod Rederath.
Well, Rederath's down there again, and he's just a super boy coming down there on those punts.
I thought I heard earlier this year this was his first year out for football, Bill? I thought I heard it from you.
Well, he played earlier 1 year, I think, then he had to quit.
I see, but he has done a super job. Whatever he's been asked to do this year. First and 10 at the Columbus 44-yard line for Memorial. Handoff, Reutemann breaks the tackle, 40-35, down inside the 35-yard line to the 33, and they've got another first down, and right now they're controlling the line of scrimmage.
That's the story. They're moving us back.
4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. All a bit concerned on the sidelines. And this time the handoff goes to Reutemann again, plowing up the middle. He's down inside the 30 to the 29 or 28-yard line. And picking up good yardage on first down. About 4. Second and 6.
Well, we've seen some good backs this year, but I got to feel that this Reutemann is probably one of the best we've seen all year long, including a Melbrick down from Wisconsin Rapids and so forth. He just runs up ahead of steam. He knows where he's going. He does a good job, and he's got speed.
I would say he is the best I've seen. Handoff, and this is Ackert, the tailback. He's got good yardage down inside the 25, close to a first down near the 22-yard line. Brian Ackert, a converted tight end, running out of the halfback position.
They're going to measure.
Looks like, well, it's hard to tell from here, but I think he might be a little bit short. Let's guess anyway.
I think he's short.
And he is short by a hair or two. Just short.
Not my hair, Joe. I don't have much.
Third down and inches from the 23-yard line.
I think they'll go for it.
They got two chances to get this third and fourth down.
Well, the Columbus defense facing a very tough task right here. Crusaders break the huddle, everybody in tight with the exception of Sherwinski to the left side, off the right tackle, big hole for Reutemann. He's got the first down by a good piece out to the 15-yard line before they got him down.
He's just a truck.
8 yards on the play as they opened a big hole. Well, he got down to the 14.
He's picked up 152 yards so far in this ball game tonight.
He was the most valuable player in last year's championship game, which Memorial defeated La Crosse Aquinas 13-0. And going very well here tonight. Handoff Reutemann bouncing out to the outside, and he's down to about the 9-yard line.
Well, he just keeps on going continuously.
That's a
second down play.
We're back, I guess, aren't we? Handoff up the middle. Houck kept it, rather. We're down to about the 6-yard line. 2.5 minutes to go. And the ball will be marked on about the 6, 3rd and 1 for Waukesha Memorial.
We need some sort of a break here now.
Now we're going to beg. Now we're going to beg for that fumble.
Yeah.
They split the backs, the handoff. Reutemann, he cuts back to the left side. He's over for a touchdown. He carried 2 Columbus Dons on his back into the end zone, and it's a 12-12 game. Tremendous drive.
Well, they took the ball that time from about the 44-yard line in. Continually on the ground. Reutemann, I think Ackerman carried the ball one time, otherwise it was Reutemann all the way down the field.
So we're even, 12-12. And Reutemann will try the extra point by placement. Houck will hold. Good snap, and they fake it. Houck is rolling out to his right. Pressure is on. He throws a pass. It's incomplete. A flag is down. A flag is down around the 13-yard line.
Face mask?
Face mask. Oh, no.
They could have had a lot of receivers downfield, too.
Face mask against Columbus.
They'll run the 2 points now.
They faked the extra point attempt by placement, and now the Crusaders get the break on the first penalty of the night, correct?
Against Columbus.
First on the offside.
So that's going to be about a yard and a half penalty?
Yeah. Big yard and a half. So now
I have a feeling that, no, they're setting up the kick again.
Going to set up for the
placement again.
Reutemann will
I thought for sure that they'd go back this time and runner.
Houck will hold. High snap. Houck gets it down, and Reutemann puts it up, and he missed it wide left. He missed it. It's no good. 2:10 remains in the 3rd period. What a ball game. Waukesha Memorial 12, Columbus 12.
Members of the Marshfield Sportscasters Club include Lawrence Valley Construction. See Ray or Margie Lawrence for an energy-efficient tri-state home. Call 659-4379. Klein Auto Parts at 541 South Central Avenue in Marshfield. See Jim, Roger, or Rich at Klein Auto, your CarQuest dealer. Lemire Photography, prize-winning photography. Lemire Photos, pay more. Lynn's Flower Shop, 117 West Upham, with flowers for every occasion, adding that special touch of class. And Central Avenue Used Furniture and Antiques. They buy and sell used furniture and antiques and are the local distributor for Wood Doctor, Woodruff Furniture, and Flitz world-famous metal cleaner.
Bob Vitale will kick it off for Waukesha Memorial. What an impressive drive they put together.
Yeah, 44 yards. This is really tremendous.
And it's a low kick that'll bounce along the ground. It's taken and dropped by Radlinger. And picked up Larry Olson's got it. He's over the ball, and they've got it.
Yep.
I think they've got it. Yes, they do. Waukesha Memorial recovers on the 24-yard line. Larry picked it up off the ground and started to run. It was popped loose. And Memorial has it 1st and 10 on the 24.
Things are not going good right now, fans, so better get the old beads out and start praying.
Well, this is the time now the defense has to really put their backs up there. It's the first real turnover of the game. The first 2 are on punts and misplays, but this is a turnover.
They send Miller out wide to the left. Back split behind the quarterback, Joe Houck, and he will hand it off to Reutemann off the right side, and he's got some running room down inside the 20 to about the 18.
He is unbelievable the way he plows in there.
Those are big people he's running against.
Yeah.
And he's down to the 19-yard line, a pickup of 5, maybe 6 yards on the play.
Again, they list him at about 210, but again, he's got to go about 230. And he's a big, strong kid. He reminds me of that catcher that hardball team had this summer.
Handoff, it's Reutemann again, and down to about the 16 where he's shoved back. And Rod Rederath made the good contact and pushed him back that time.
They've moved Pat Krause into that center spot now. He went in on that play, and he was in on the tackle along with Rederath. Krause is playing right over the center now. A little more weight in there.
3rd down and 2 yards to go.
We've got Dick Olson playing the defensive end. Dick Stevens.
Handoff up the middle. It's Ackert. Yes, Ackert, and he's got a 1st down. Down to about the 13-yard line as they pushed up the middle again and picked up another first. 47 seconds remain in the third period. And this team is pushing Columbus around right now. Jeff Weiser coming out of the lineup. Jeff was another guy who was injured in the first game of the year and who hasn't seen much action since. Handoff, Ackert trying the left side, and he's stacked up. He got down to about the 10, which is a pickup of about 2 yards, perhaps.
Well, that's stopping when you only stop him at 2 yards.
2nd and 8 at the 11. Boy, Reutemann, as a kicker, you've got to wonder about him. He's missed 2 extra points, so a field goal might not be a possibility here. 2nd and 8. Wide receiver to the left side. A handoff to Reutemann, bouncing to the outside, gets a good block from Ackert, and he's down to the 5-yard line. Ackert really did a job on the left defensive end for the Dons. That's the end of the third period of play with the score. Columbus 12, Waukesha Catholic Memorial 12.
Members of the Marshfield Sportscast.
Jack Hackman, Mickey Horvat back at Beal Stadium as Memorial has the ball on the 5-yard line. 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. Actually marked on the 5. Back split, the handoff to Reutemann up the middle, pushing his way ahead for pretty good yardage down there, down to about the 3-yard line. And that could put him very close to the first down sticks.
They're going to measure, it looks like.
Reutemann just pushed straight ahead. Down to the 3. 11:49 to go in the game. And they'll bring the sticks across. Badgers won this afternoon over Northwestern, 39-19. Wisconsin Rapids lost their game. Division I championship WIAA by a score of, what was it?
19-6.
19-6, okay.
Well, they're short by about a half a yard.
4th and 1 coming up down on the 3-yard line. And they break the huddle and come out with Reutemann and Ackert behind Joe Houck. Miller out to the right side. Joe Houck will sneak it himself. He's got the first down. Down to about the 2-yard line. There was just a tremendous surge by the middle of that line, and the Dons couldn't stop him. Depends on where they marked the ball, but I thought he had plenty for the first down.
Oh, it's going to be close. I thought he had more than that, too.
Moved it all the way back. No play. Time wasn't set.
I was wondering about that. I saw Sam Young reach into his pocket to throw up a flag, and he never threw it. And I thought, well, Sam, what were you reaching for?
Well, try that again. Houck will come out of the huddle. This time it's Reutemann off the right side, and I don't know. He didn't make it.
Didn't make it.
Close. It's close. Tremendous defensive stand by the Dons.
Dons don't think they made it. It's hard for us to... Dons don't think they made it. It's hard for us to see it over here, but they're going to bring out the sticks one more time.
Houck doesn't think they made it. He went running off the field.
I think he's looking for another play.
Yeah, he's going to the quarterback. I mean, to the goal.
Well, they'll bring the chains across, and from here it
doesn't look like it either,
they got it. They needed almost a yard. The Dons have stopped them.
Okay. Whoa. Well, I tell you, we're taking over deep in our own territory.
That's living dangerously.
They did not score. But that also has to pump them up a little bit.
Yeah, they did not score.
And it has to take a little bit of confidence away from the Memorial team, too.
And the way they congratulated the boys is that they came off the field, it looked like Pat Krause was the instrumental one in it. They all went to Pat when he came off.
Well, let's not get a safety now. You got to go straight ahead. What we need now is a 98-yard drive.
What we need
I'll
now
take it in one play, too, if we can get it.
What we need now is about 3 yards to get out to about the 5, so at least we got a little bit of room. Those backs aren't standing back in the end zone. Morgan hands it to Rattlinger, hit in the backfield, and it's very close, but he is outside the goal line.
Whoa. Barely. He's hurt, too.
John is getting up a little slowly, but
he lost the
back
yard.
on the 1 yard line. Oh, man, did they hit him.
Yeah, never had a chance. We may punt fast down there.
2nd and 11 on the 1 yard line.
They're huddling on the bleachers back there, the temporary bleachers.
Not funny. Tom Krause into the lineup. The Dons, I think, Possibly going to call a timeout.
Radlinger is coming out. It's an official timeout.
Official timeout. John's hurt.
Yeah. Dick Stevens will go in to replace him. And
well, he's holding that arm as though it's dead at his side.
And what a tremendous effort that John has given this year. And he has played with pain all season long. 2nd and 11 at the 1. Stevens in at the fullback position. He's the lone remaining back. And it'll be Brian Morgan keeping it himself. He's out to about the 3.
Punting team going in.
Yeah. Rod Rederath going in on the offense, and that means they're going to try and kick quick kicking here, I would think. Out to about the 3-yard line. And it's 3rd down and about 9. 10 minutes, 20 seconds to go. And watch Bryant. Yes, he will drop back to kick the ball away. Memorial sends no one back to receive.
Now they do.
Now they catch on. It's a pretty good snap, and Bryant gets off a good kick. That will be taken by Reutemann at the 35-yard line. And he's brought down.
Oh, we got a clipping penalty there, too.
Flag. Move him back.
Okay, we got a clipping penalty, too.
So that'll take him back to near midfield. And the Dons come out of that smelling like a rose.
We hope. Okay, let's put the ball back here now.
Now the Memorial offense again will take the field, and they've pushed Columbus around in this second half.
They have really handled us in this second half, both on offense and on defense. So we need a little surge here right now to get us back in the ball game. A break is what we're begging for, folks, if you want to be honest about it. But we'll take anything we can get just to get the hands on the ball in good field position. We have not had that this half.
Well, Memorial pushed the ball down to the 3-yard line on their last possession where the Dons stopped them. They scored on the possession before that. Joe Houck brings them up, sends Miller to the left side. They pitch it back, and this is Ackert running for about 2 yards to the 46. Good defense.
Would have been a fumble, but it was after the play maybe. But there was a fumble right down here in front of us. They ruled it dead.
Schutz made the tackle along with John Olson. 2nd and 2.
He still picked up a yard.
2nd and 8 at the 46-yard line. Once he gets up ahead of steam, that was
accurate.
He's tough enough to stop.
Yeah,
he's a big guy too.
Well, they're spread out this time. Watch for the pass.
Reutemann up the middle, and he breaks a couple of tackles and gets down to the 43-yard line.
He is a big-time football player. I want to guarantee you that.
And it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5 yards to go from the 43-yard line.
Even when they gang tackle him, he gets 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, he is really something else.
Always going forward.
You're right, Mickey. That's the best football player I've seen this year.
Yeah.
3rd and 5. And a handoff to Reutemann again, and he pushes his way down inside the 40 to the 39, and they're in a position here to go for it, I would think, on 4th down.
I think they're going to go for position, though. They're going to punt it maybe down there again.
No, I think they're going to go, Nick. 4th and about 1.5.
Might be an error in strategy, though.
Yeah, they can put it.
I would kick it right now, too.
I wouldn't. Not with a horse like that in the backfield.
I'm going to go.
They stopped them inside the 5, remember. If they do it here, we got our field position.
That's right. Well, let's hope you're right, Jack.
I hope you're right, Jack.
I've got to agree with Coach Young's strategy on this one. 4th and 1. Houck brings him up. Handoff Reutemann. He's got the first down, I believe. Now they push him back. I don't know.
Oh, he's got it.
Makes no difference where they are now. It's where he got to, and he got enough for a first down, I'm sure.
2 yards,
Or so, maybe not.
They marked the ball.
I don't know.
I think he's
got it.
Well, he had it once, but he spun out of the tackle and tried to run again, and they may not have blown that ball dead on the first contact. He would have had it had they left him, had he stayed where he was.
I don't think he made it.
He did.
You got it, Dale? You think he made it?
It's going to be close, and that could be, this measurement could be deciding.
Well, he's got it by 3 inches.
He's got it by half the ball, maybe.
I figured he had it.
Oh, wow. Big first down.
Placements are so important.
Oh, yeah. It looked like he had enough on the initial charge, but like Jack said, he tried to get some more, and he gave a little ground. First down, Memorial.
Well, we got to do it all over again now.
Yeah. 38-yard line. 8 minutes to go. Miller goes out wide to the left. And a handoff to fake to the fullback, back to pass. Kelly Kennedy.
Okay.
Back on the 50-yard line. Kelly Kennedy.
On the 48.
That's a 10-yard loss. And he might be hurt, though.
He is. He's slow getting up anyhow. He
was bounced down hard. He's okay.
2nd and 20 at the 48. Kelly Kennedy. No one touched him.
His feelings were hurt more than anything else, I'm sure.
Blindsided by Kelly.
Oh, putting Fernbrook in now for... Actually, they're moving, taking Joe Mikowski out, moving Pat Krause over to the tackle spot, a little more speed. They get that
Eric
quarterback.
Fernbrook is charged up out there.
He is charged.
2nd and 20. Fake. Option right. Houck will keep it. He'll get nothing. Shoved out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Wally Schutz. Kelly Kennedy. John Radlinger.
John Radlinger back in that game is unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That kid is back in
the defense is really fired up now.
Now let's make the big.
Let's not making a mistake there now. Yeah. Come on.
Now they're going to put it in the air. We got to pick one off.
3rd down, 20 yards to go for Waukesha Memorial. 7:19 to go. Back split, Miller wide left. Houck is going to go back to pass. He's looking over the middle. He's got him, and it's caught by Roychik, but he's well short of the first down. Not on the 37-yard line, but it will help them out field position-wise. A pickup of about 10 yards on the play. 4th and 10 coming up. And here I would punt the ball, and they're going to.
I think we have complete agreement with you on that one, Joe.
All right, we'll take that block punt again.
Or bubble snap, anyway.
Anything.
We're begging, family. We're begging.
You better believe it.
Good snap. And he gets a kickoff nicely. Wobbly boot. That'll bounce on the 15, and it's taken by Kevin Kennedy down there, and he's smothered on around the 12-yard line, I think.
I don't know. That ball might have gone right into the end zone if Kennedy went digging it, but okay. That's taken care of.
10-yard line. Columbus with it. And the Dons have got to move the ball out of there. It's just a little bit too scary giving these balls, these guys the ball on the Columbus side of the 50-yard line.
Only 6.5 to go. It's winding down and fast.
We haven't been over the 50-yard line in this half.
No field position.
Near it, not even near it.
The 35-yard line, I believe, was the closest we got to the 50.
1st and 10 at the 10 for the Dons, and the handoff to Rob Wagner. He's pushed back immediately. Nothing for Rob. As getting off the bottom of the pile for the Crusaders, Ken Bogas.
Lost a yard.
2nd and 11 back on the 9-yard line. There's just no holes. The line that did such a super job in the first half of Memorial must have made some adjustments at halftime.
Well, plus the fact that the weight differential there, too. You know, you're going to get tired. You can't keep on moving them like they could before.
Can't keep moving the Great Wall of China on every play. 2nd and 11 on the 9. And Morgan will hand it off, sweeping to the right side. It's Rob Wagner. He's out to the 20-yard line. First down. Big run by Robbie. As he popped to the outside, and I think he picked up the first down yardage, although now where they're going to mark it. He went out of bounds over there on about the 19, I think, and
he's right on the 20-yard line.
Oh, just 2 footballs there.
Let's take the one that's on the 21.
And he's got it. First down at the 20.
Well, we've had a lot of big first downs this season, but none any bigger than that one.
That was a big one.
Well, that's the first down of the second half, isn't it?
That's our first down. Yeah, we have done really nothing in the second half, but now it's our time to see what we can do. We're down to 5 minutes and 26 seconds left to play in the ball game. The season could end right here now. It's going to end here tonight. That's for darn
time. Morgan brings him up 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. The handoff. And trying to get to the outside again is Wagner, and Rob is stopped. No gain. Again, Memorial getting the better of things in that line. 2nd and 10 at the 20.
Well, we've been pinned back all the second half. We have not had a chance to open up. We've had no opportunity to pass, which is one of our strengths, and they've just been able to zero in on our ground game.
I think Brian might throw right here. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Wagner and Radlinger in the backfield behind Brian. Olson wing right. And Brian will hand it off to Wagner. Tripped up as he got to the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for about 2 or 3. And it'll bring up a big 3rd and 7 here. 4:28 to go. 3rd and 8, let's call it, at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, this is the time you have to start thinking about the possibility of a tie game and different rules.
No, those are the overtime methods.
Okay. I'm sure that's been going through Coach Crow's mind, because he knows we can get in the overtime and hold them. We got the boy that I think can win it for us, and Dick Stevens.
Well, but at the same token, they got that big guy too, and 4 cracks from the 10-yard line.
Sweep to Wagner going to the right, and Rob is cut down about the 24-yard line, maybe the 25, but in any case, Columbus will be short, and the Dons are going to have to give up the football, and this time Rob Wagner's a little slow getting up.
Robbie's down on his back on the 25-yard line.
And it'll be 4th and about 5 on the 25 for Columbus. We need a good kick, Brian Morgan. 3:48 remains in the 4th period, as Memorial will send Pete Miller back to about the 35-yard line to receive the kick from Brian Morgan.
Looks like he had the wind knocked out. He's winded, I do believe.
Well, he's been playing a heck of a game here tonight, too.
He'll get up now. He'll be all right, I think.
Really, what a year that kid has had. He's just as tough as nails, but he's coming off on his own car.
Well, he's got another year left, too, and he's going to, he and Brian Morgan, there's quite a few of the other these boys coming back next year, too, so Walt, I'm sure, is looking forward to another big year next year.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll start working on it 2 seconds after this game is over.
A lot of these guys got to go for basketball.
Well, Walt will
start working on it.
I see, okay.
Well, we need a good punt again, Brian. He got a 46-yarder off a while back. We'll take one of those now.
4th and 5 from the 25-yard line.
Just a nice hand for Robbie Wagner when he comes off here. We get our hands on the ball again.
He might be just tired, I think. He has worked very hard out there.
He carried the ball 20 times.
Good snap. Morgan gets the kickoff, and it's a good one. Miller will take it on the 44-yard line, trying to get to the outside. He breaks one tackle. Now he'll reverse his field, and he's going to be smothered back on the 44. Did a little dance, got nothing for it, but they've got very good field position at the Memorial 44-yard line. They have 3.5 minutes to do something with the football.
Well, here's a big time to hold them.
Yeah, now we're going to start really begging, because this is where I'm looking for my fumble.
You saved
well, they haven't done it
huh?
this game yet. Well, maybe they're overdue. I don't know what their statistics are for the year, whether or not that they have the tendency of doing this or not, but not the way they've been handling the ball tonight.
Ackert gets the call on a counter. He's got about 5, maybe 6 yards out to midfield as they open a good hole. Yeah, we're coming back to the right.
He says, I haven't carried the ball all night long. Give it to me, see what I can do. And he really rolled through there.
Well, one thing, I don't know with the offensive game they've been playing that they will have enough time to go all the way on the ground at 4 or 5 yards at a time.
Well, it looks like they're going to try. Houck will hand it off to Reutemann, and he breaks for about 3 or 4. He's close to a first down to the 45-yard line. 2:45 to go in the 4th.
So it looks like he's short by a couple.
By an inch or two, I think. Not much. He's a little bit short, half a yard short.
Don't stop that clock at this stage.
3rd down and about 1 at the 46-yard line. Less than 1, actually, about a foot. Reutemann and Ackert behind. Houck handoff. Reutemann off the right side. First down by a goodly portion and down to about the 41-yard line as Wally Schutz makes the tackle. But here come the Crusaders. 2:21. The clock stopped as they set the change, but they've got to move it in and out of that huddle now. If they're going to get down there in time.
Well, they got 2 timeouts left. They took 1 so far this half.
Wide to the right side comes Glenn Sherwinski. And Houck will give it to Ackert going out the left side. Big hole. He's got a first down, or very close to it, down around the 30-yard line.
That's a first down. Yeah, he got
beautiful play.
Yeah, he picks up the 10 yards, and that really hurts us. I'll tell you that.
2 minutes, 3 seconds to go. They're on the 30, 1st and 10.
That really hurt us when this kid picks up. He's picked up 16 yards in this drive.
Well, everybody's looking for that big guy, and they're not giving it to him now. They're giving it to the other one.
It's Ackert up the middle again. He picks up about 2, and then he's stopped back on the 28-yard line. They're going to call a timeout, I would think. And they do. 1:46 to go. It's Columbus 12 and Waukesha Memorial 12.
Well, they got 1 timeout left.
We'll take a break.
Members of the Marshfield Sportscasters Club include Ken's Economy Sales of Marshfield. See the man-size economy garden tractor. Available in 12, 14, and 18 horsepower, all-gear drive, no belts, plus attachments to do any job. Rice's Carpet for the homemaker who appreciates value with quality. Spindler and Weiler Concrete Incorporated for residential or commercial work. Driveways, sidewalks, patios, and walls. You name it, they can do it. Tombstone Pizza. Enjoy a delicious Tombstone Pizza. And Kessler Kirby at 122 South Central Avenue. See Pete Boers at Kessler Kirby. They sell the best and service the rest.
Second down, 8 yards to go for Waukesha Memorial at the 28-yard line. A minute 46 remains in the fourth period. Tied 12-12. Oak optioning to the right. He'll pitch it back to Ackert. That's great. Ackert's got it on the 35-yard line. What a loss of 7 yards.
Stevens did a beautiful job of keeping him out there, and then he saw that ball being tacked back there, and he was fumbled, and he went after the ball player, and there's what, about a 7 or 8 yard loss on that one. Plus the clock is still flying.
Now they're going to have to throw it. 3rd and 15 back on the 35-yard line. The crowd and the players on the bench now.
Nobody sitting down. Everybody on their feet.
All yelling for some defense. Out, back to pass. He's got good protection. Flips it out. It's incomplete. Now 4th down.
We got to be careful here. We don't make too much noise. The referees will call a penalty against us or something, you know.
We're not down in Madison now.
No, we're not.
4th and 15 at the 35-yard line, and Memorial, it appears, is going to go for it.
Oh, yeah, they
probably
have to. Sure.
We got down to 105 left in the ball game, and what we need now...
here comes a punting kit.
Yeah, that's a good move. Boy, I wouldn't give Brian Morgan the ball on the 35-yard line.
No, I would. Yeah, you're right.
I would. Not the way you know whose side I'm on, fellas.
All right, leave this one alone. Don't fumble it
Get away
back
from
there.
it.
We still got to rush it.
Cantor will kick. A little bit of pressure, and Cantor gets off a wobbly boot.
Let it go, let it go.
10-yard line, and it takes the Columbus roll up to 15. 57 seconds.
It looks like overtime.
Okay, what do? Do you try to get it all the way out there and take a chance at an interception?
No,
Pro will not.
sit on it and play for OT. That's what
we're going to find out real quick.
Yeah, I think he knows if he gets in overtime, he's got a pretty good crack at it.
Clock is running right now, and Morgan is still talking with the coach.
Yeah. Okay.
Down to 50 seconds. I think we'll run the clock out.
Sure.
And then.
we have a
3-minute
overtime
rest period.
this year, huh? I think you guys can fill 3 minutes.
Oh.
35 seconds to go as the Dons break the huddle. Kevin Kennedy comes out wide to the left. Radlinger, the lone remaining back, and Morgan falls on the ball.
It'll be overtime.
That will be probably the final play of regulation here. And Mickey, why don't you read the overtime procedure?
Okay, I can't read that. Go ahead. I need a magnifying glass to be able to read that.
It's down to 10 seconds now.
Well, we're going to have a flip of the coin, that's for sure.
Somewhere.
We're going to have a 3-minute break. So
they each get a set of downs to a 10-yard line, don't they?
Yeah, that's it.
They flip the coin to see who wants what, who goes first.
Well, there it is. Overtime. 12-12. Both teams missing extra points after each touchdown. And we are going to settle the WISAA Class A State Championship in an overtime.
And right now we'll take a break and hear from the Marshfield Sportscasters Club.
Members of the Marshfield Sportscasters Club include Shaw's Wrecking Yard, located just 2 miles south of Marshfield on Highway 13, then a quarter-mile east on Mill Creek Drive. Used auto parts at big savings. The Knight's Restaurant and the Marshfield Station Lounge at the Holiday Inn, Marshfield South Side, #1 in people-pleasing. Central State Supply Corporation in Marshfield, distributors of plumbing, heating, and electrical supplies and tools. Citizens National Bank and Trust. And Nelson Shoe and Hobby, home of famous Red Wing service shoes and sport boots for men and boys.
Well, this is the first overtime we have seen this year. I think we've covered about 30 football games.
Joe, in overtime, that kicking game is so important.
Well, but remember, they got that big number 41 out there, and, he's going to get 4 cracks of a 10-yard line, and that's got to be impressive, too. So it's going to be a tough decision over here. Here you have the state championship game, and you go into the overtime.
They won the second flip of the night.
And I think generally the coach will give the other team the ball first.
Yeah, really.
But if we go to a second overtime, they would reverse the order of who gets the ball first.
Yeah, they did win it twice in a row tonight.
Those coins are just totally unfair. Columbus will take the ball first.
I think that was a choice.
Okay, let's put the pressure on him and score 7 points.
Yeah.
That's it.
Put the heat on him, huh?
Sure.
Overtime. The Dons will get the ball from the 10-yard line. They'll get 4 shots at it. And then they'll do the same for Waukesha Memorial. Whoever scores more points wins. Or they'll play overtimes until we have a winner.
What I heard, one of the games early this year went something like 7 or 8 overtimes.
It can happen.
Something like that.
Let's not have that tonight. I don't think I could take that.
Well, I don't think it will. With a good place kicker, that usually doesn't happen. You can hit that field goal because you're in position right from the word go.
Here we go. The Dons are taking the field, and out with them come the Memorial Crusaders from the 10-yard line.
What a wrap-up to a season.
Oh, super. What a year. Win or lose here. It's been a tremendous year.
The Dons only picked up in the second half by the 17 yards in the second half offense.
Doesn't matter. New ball game, Del. All right?
We got field position.
Yeah, first time we've had field position in the second half.
Wagner and Radlinger behind Brian Morgan. Olson wingback right side. Handoff Radlinger out the left side. John is hit, bounces forward for a couple. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, spun off and got 2 yards. And it'll be second and goal from the 8-yard line.
I think we're going to be keeping it on the ground here right along the line, too.
Well, it depends on the situation. Right here, I would say they probably will, but you never know. Brian Morgan has some very gifted receivers out there. Tom Nicolai, the right end. Kevin Kennedy on the left side. Larry Olson is wingback. Back split behind him. Morgan sends Olson in motion and hands it off to Radlinger, and he's down to about the 6-yard line before he's shoved back.
About the 5.
John Radlinger looked like he had a little bit of a hole that time, and John slow getting up, but I guess he's all right.
He's 3rd and 5, the clock says, or scoreboard says.
3rd and goal from the 5. We got halfway there in 2 downs.
The only time the clock doesn't run in a football game is in the overtime period. I think he's closer to the 6-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like he's outside the 5. Here we go, 3rd down. Olson again, wing on the right side. He'll come in motion. And Morgan hands it off to Wagner on the counter. Touchdown!
He's in there. Okay. Let's get the extra point. Get that 7 points. Beautiful hole up the middle that time.
Tremendous hole. Now Dick Stevens will come on to try the extra point.
Now we need it. You put all the pressure on them then.
18-6 to score.
Well, Dick, you have to get one tonight. He hasn't hit one yet. He's missed 2.
Well, Whiteman's come breaking through twice. And blocked one of them. Morgan will hold a high snap. He gets it down. The kick is good.
Okay, the pressure is on them now. Now they have to do their scoring.
The score is Columbus 19, Waukesha Memorial 12. We'll keep it right here.
Well, they're going to go at the same end of the field.
Right, that's the way it has to be.
Columbus High School try to give it the defensive team out there right now. It is going to be Wally Schutz at a defensive end. We got Sloan, we got Joe Mikulski out there, we got Pat Krause out there playing in the middle now. John Radlinger is going to be the linebacker.
Back on the 9-yard line. And
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Bella's got a trophy out on the field. That's for us. Walk Crow, the Columbus Dons have done it. Oh, my Lord, Walt, I'm so happy for you.
Everybody's happy out there. This is a great thing. Great thing.
What a way the end of year. What a way the end of year. You get your touchdown when you got 6 yards to go and third down. We thought sure they'd put that ball in the air, but we did not put the ball in the air. Turn around and come back, get the touchdown, and pick her off the play on the third down and 10. That was at our second down and 10, I should say. It surprised me that they passed with that great big Reutemann in the backfield. I would have gone 4 times at that kid. But what a mob scene down on the field, Joe. You take it. I got to start figuring. 19-12, the final score. We'll be back with our post-game show coming up next.
The 1980 WISAA Class A State Championship football game was a presentation of WDLB Sports, sponsored by the many members of the Marshfield Sportscasters Club. Stay tuned to WDLB. Our post-game show is coming up next. Our post-game show, sponsored by Marshfield Book and Stationery and the Thorogood Credit Union. Highlights, statistics, and much more on our post-game show.
Scene on the field at Beal Stadium. 4,000 people hit the field all at once when Kevin Kennedy intercepted that pass and clinched the Columbus Dons' first state championship, defeating Waukesha Memorial 19-12.
Well, there are about 600 or 700 people from across the stands that didn't rush out on the field. It's going to be a long ride home for them, but they played one heck of a great game out there too, and they took Marshfield Columbus right down to the wire. I think the statistics are going to prove out that Memorial did a much better job during that second half. However, when the points counted, that's when they got them, and that's that overtime. You score, and that's it.
So the Columbus Dons and Coach Walt Kroll mob down there, as just about everybody from the Columbus side of the field is down there on the field. We will check the scoring highlights and the statistics after this message.
Every businessman needs to look his best when he's on the job. By
the way, there will be a celebration up at Columbus celebrating the state championship immediately after the game. As soon as the team gets up there, they'll have some dignitaries and celebrities, and everybody's going to celebrate this thing put on by the Columbus Quarterback Club, and that'll be up at the Columbus gym as soon as, everybody gets showered up and everybody arrives, as a tremendous football game we have seen here tonight. Let's run down the scoring highlights for you. Things started fast in the first half, as on the very first play from scrimmage, as a matter of fact, from the 32-yard line in the Crusaders' own end, Waukesha Memorial scored on the very first play of the game. Backfield, and the handoff goes to Reutemann. Bouncing to the outside, 35-40. He's into the clear. Midfield, 30-yard line. It's a foot race. 30, 20. He's going to score. 10-5 touchdown. That's no way to start the game, fellas. Oh, boy. 68 yards. Mike Reutemann bounced out to the outside, and it was a long goner. The extra point by Reutemann was no good. 6-0. Memorial led at that point. However, early in the second period, Brian Morgan came up with this pass to Kevin Kennedy from 11 yards out to even things up. Now wide to the right, Kevin Kennedy wide left, back split behind Morgan. Brian's back to pass. He's got good protection. Now he rolls out of the pocket and he's being chased. Going to get the ball off. He's got a man in the end zone. Caught! A touchdown by Kevin Kennedy. That was one heck of a catch. He went up amongst 3 or 4 guys there and pulled it down and landed and it was 6-6. However, the Dons got on the board again before the half with 40 seconds remaining. Down on the 3-yard line, John Radlinger took it in. First and goal at the 3, handoff John Radlinger off left tackle, touchdown!
Okay. Attaboy, John.
John Radlinger took it over, and the Dons lead 12-6.
Second man through the hole.
The extra point by Stevens was blocked. It was 12-6 at halftime. Waukesha Memorial really dominated in the entire second half. They put together a beautiful 44-yard drive midway through the third period and stuck it in with 2:10 remaining on a 5-yard run by Reutemann. Split the backs, the handoff. Reutemann, he cuts back to the left side. He's over for a touchdown. He carried 2 Columbus Dons on his back into the end zone, and it's a 12-12 game. And then in the overtime period, as that's the way it ended, the Dons with a fine defensive stand down on the 1-yard line to keep Memorial out of the end zone. The Dons were able to hold them off until the end of regulation. Then it went down to overtime. 4 cracks from the 10-yard line. Columbus got the ball first. They had it 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line when this happened. Here we go, 3rd down. Olsen again, wing on the right side. He'll come in motion. And Morgan hands it off to Wagner on the counter. Touchdown!
He's in there. Okay. Let's get the extra point. Get that 7 point.
And they did get that 7th point. Dick Stevens put it through the pipe, and it was 19-12 at that point. And Memorial then got the ball, tried 1 or 2 running plays, and then on a 3rd down, they tried a pass, and Kevin Kennedy intercepted in the end zone. I don't believe we have that replay for you because we were having some technical problems at the time, but Kevin Kennedy intercepted it, ending Memorial's chances, and the Columbus Dons are state champs 19-12. Del, how about the stats?
Okay, I guess that's not too important tonight. The big thing is we won the ball game. They did pick up more yards than we did. They had 200 yards rushing. This big Mike Reutemann had 199 yards in 32 carries. They had 25 yards passing. They wind up with 226 yards. The Dons wind up with 166 yards. 97 on the ground, 69 passing. Those 69 came in the first half. We only picked up 22 yards in the second half. Offensively, we had 9 first downs, 6 by rushing, 3 by passing. They had 12 first downs, 11 of those by rushing and 1 by passing. Each team did have a turnover. I think they attempted 8 passes and completed 2. We attempted 9 passes and completed 4. But the Dons had the interception, the big interception in the end zone. They were penalized twice for 20 yards. We were penalized once for 1.5. We did lose the ball once on a fumble. Very costly, but I guess when it all boils down to it, the big play of the ball game was the Dons defense. They had 4th and 1 on the 2-yard line, and the Dons held them down there on the 2-yard line, and that kind of turned this thing around. We had no field position the whole second half. We just never got on track. We were kind of like a boxer in a ring, just getting knocked around for about 10 rounds, and you come back and you close your eyes and you swing a punch and you knock them out and you win the fight. But give this Dons team an awful lot of credit. I don't know, Joe. I think Mr. Kroll wanted to get into this overtime, and he was praying for it when the chips were down at the end, I'm sure, because we just couldn't move the ball. But he had Dick Stevens, the kicker, to win the ball game for us, and he had 11 kids on that field that are just, what can you say about this team? I don't have all the adjectives to put out there right now. I guess I'm a little bit too excited. I see Pat Cross just going berserk down there. Yet one thing did strike me, all the mob of the people on the field down there. Brian Morgan did find his mother. Now I see John Radlinger found his folks over there. But the bus is going to be a little bit late in taking off of here because some of these kids just don't want to leave the field, and some of the fans don't want to leave. But I want to tell you one thing, this game will be on film, and if you get a chance to see it, this was really a hard-nosed football team, and I really think we saw the best running back that we have seen this year in this Mike Reutemann.
Mike Reutemann was named most valuable player in this game.
Not to me, he wasn't.
Well, yeah, he played by far the best of anybody out there. Of course, the final score showed Columbus winning, but this kid is a heck of a ball player, and I'm sure that he's going to be a blue chipper and probably first string All-State if he is, and I'd like to know who the heck he is.
Yeah.
Because he just runs very, very well as a strong ball player, and I'm sure he's going to be playing someplace in the Big Ten or a major college someplace. I'll tell you, this defense that Columbus put on, and they were being pushed around a little bit in that second half, but they only gave up 1 touchdown, and they did hold them down on that 1-yard line, and they stopped them from getting that first down, and that was a big play. And of course, by holding them, they were able to ease that ball out, and as it turns out, that probably was the big play of the game.
We'll be back with more in a minute.
Well, we're back here at Beal Stadium where the Columbus High School Dons are reigning as WISAA champs for 1980 in a thrilling overtime ball game. And Joe Orella has just took off. He's going to try and get with the team as they get down in the locker room and get some comments for replays later in broadcast. And he's going to try and get down there to gather in all that excitement when they hit the locker room. That's always a joyful time, although they sure put on a demonstration out here on the field, and I know that bus is probably going to be rocking all the way up to the school, but they'll have a great time down there, and I guess there will be a big reception for the whole team at Columbus High School.
Come on up. If you haven't been to the game, pack the kids in the car and go up to Columbus, and you'll really have fun. We were up there after the girls won their state championship last February, was it? Yeah, I tell you, we lose track of time. We've been going with football since August 26th, and we started off at Prentice, Wisconsin, and we end up right here in good old Marshfield with a state championship, and it couldn't have been a nicer year.
Oh, and the weather tonight was just nice, too. The field probably was in the best condition we've seen it here for the last month and a half.
You're right.
And the kids, nobody can complain about the footing. You don't see anybody sliding and slipping and so forth out there.
No wind.
Walt Krall had his team ready. The offense did not work the way he wanted to in that second half, but this team that they played was a big, strong team. Folks, when you imagine they're playing a school that has some 3,000 students, and what does Columbus have? About
365.
365. Well, that's almost a 10-to-1 ratio. Yeah. So they've got an awful lot of people to choose from, and they came in here with a very fine team. It was a well-coached team. The only problem was that Walt Kroll's kids came out here. They wanted to win, and they did. A big game. Congratulations, Walt. You deserve it.
We have Steve Pabella here. If we could catch Steve for just a moment. And we'll visit with him just a second. Steve, how'd you enjoy the ball game?
Well, it certainly was an exciting ball game, and championship caliber all the way, Jack. Two very fine teams. Overtime, you couldn't really ask for anything more exciting for a crowd. Of course, it's very difficult for the losers and very nice for the winners.
Well, it was a great ball game, and I guess that's the way the season ends. I know it's tough to lose in an overtime, but it was a championship ball game, and that's how it played. And when it winds up, it certainly was credit to both ball clubs because it was a real fine effort.
Well, I think so too, Jack. I think it's just great to have teams of this caliber in a championship game. Waukesha Memorial certainly is an outstanding team. Marshfield Columbus, of course, is the top.